Jean Ordenfall spent his childhood on his family's farm, just south of the Duvet Forest. His parents, Derlin and Macy, had raised him well, teaching him what he needed to know to one day take over. Financially, they did quite well for themselves, carting their crops to nearby towns and cities for sale, although the frigid weather that often surrounded their home did not make it an easy life. As is the case with most youngins living the farm life, Jean eventually sought to see what else the world had to offer, and so he left in search of what opportunities the neighboring city had for him. It wasn't long before he realized the city life was not his to live. The boy who left, though, had become a man, and the man had met a woman, a blacksmith's daughter by the name of Cerithia. They fell for each other quick, and before they knew it, their love blossomed into a marriage and a son. The son they named Derlin, after Jean's father. Jean eventually returned home to his parents' farm with his family, where they made a life for themselves, a new life for his wife and son, but one all too familiar to Jean. They were happy. That is, until the day vile creatures from beyond the veil made their way into their home. After being driven from his homeland by the insatiable undead that now plague it, Jean seeks out those brave enough to aid him in cleansing his land of the foul fate that befell him and his family, and exacting the vengeance he so eagerly thirsts for.
As a child, Celeste Highcrest would never have dreamed of leaving the sheltered life of luxury she had become accustomed to. Born to two noble parents in a land far beyond the Vale, Celeste's childhood had been fraught with expectation. Her father, High Archivist Saran Highcrest, had set high standards for his two children, and the elder of those two elves, Celeste's sister Cressida, had surpassed all of them. Cressida had found her talents at an early age, her nose buried in books, and magic coming to her as easy as breathing. Celeste, however, had struggled in the shadow of her sister's success for as long as she could remember, never quite meeting the expectations of her father, and always the object of his disappointed glances. When the two elves came of age, they sat the entrance exam to join their father at the sanctum, to become mentored under his tutelage and scribe ancient texts in the archives. Cressida, to no one's surprise, had passed the exam with overwhelming success. Celeste, on the other hand, held true to her long-standing tradition of always being second best. It was rare that one should ever choose to leave their homeland, but never being able to escape the constant overshadowing from her sister, Celeste had decided it was finally time to break free of this tradition. For here, she would always be Cressida's sister, never her own person. But if she were to leave, perhaps she could finally forge her own path. She found her way to the dimension door, stepping through for the first time and finding herself in a land strangely familiar, yet unlike anything she had ever experienced. She boarded the first ship she came across, bound for the kingdom of Quell, and spent years travelling these oceans between continents, desperate to find something worthy enough to bring home as tribute to her family. Until one day, the news found her. The door that she had stepped through to enter this plane had vanished, along with every other door that could lead her home. Now stuck, seemingly an entire universe between her and her homeland, Celeste is searching for answers, and some miracle that could lead her home again.
Ingwe grew up in an reclusive community of druids. His elders, ancient and wise, one of the greatest, his mother, was a great storyteller, and he grew up sharing their stories. While the community has very strict rules and customs and routines, each member is encouraged once in a lifetime to travel out into the world and experience the trials and tribulations, bring back their challenges to share and to tell the story of the world.
my camera is slow as usual. Apparently, I'm lagging a little behind, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Right. Let's just double check that I have sound. I can't do it. I don't have my phone for various reasons.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
That's a different franchise.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone's good to go. Cool. Well, welcome everyone back to Monsters and Mayhem. We took a week off for mental health reasons, and today we're back with our normal campaign. We have a few announcements. The first thing is that if you have returned, if you go onto Facebook and you look after Monsters and Mayhem, you can now make the GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook from our show, which is really cool. We also have them on our Discord. I know that Laura is about to correct me, even though she's trying so hard not to. But you can use them to spread the good love and spam them everywhere, especially places where people don't like Monsters and Mayhem. And then hopefully they'll brainwash them, like Stockholm Syndrome is a thing, right? So...
Just
So
we
you
are
know
not
that.
encouraging brainwashing or
No.
Stockholm syndrome. For legal reasons, this is
No.
a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, these four aren't at least. I mean, yeah. Anyway, we also have a very special April's Fools episode, which we will air on the 1st of April, strangely enough.
Or
Time-wise...
Or is that the joke?
Time-wise, I'm sure that it will be same time as usual. How long it goes for, we will see. Maybe it'll be an all-nighter. Maybe it'll be a week-long D&D session. But it'll definitely be funny. It'll definitely be different.
Or maybe we won't have one, and that's the joke.
Yeah, that could be funny. No, people would. No. No one shows up anyway.
It's just 3 hours of Rick Astley.
Well, I mean, I did... That's a funny thing, actually. I did Rick Astley, Laura, to begin with when we started. I sent everyone their intro video. The first version I made. Not this one that we have now with all the cool art. And then I sent her one, and hers were just Rickrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
that was
it.
funny. Very funny. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. So, without further ado, my name is Tom. I'm the producer and dungeon master of Monsters and Mayhem. If you have more dice than receipts that you don't actually need hidden away in your house, you come to the right place. Let's get slowly into it, shall we? So let me put on a little bit of music, if it wants to load.
Set that ambiance.
There we go. That's a little bit of music there. Turn on a little bit of background noise, maybe. Just for extra background noise. There we go. So where we left off last time, you had finally convinced Vartex to jump into this little flask of some sort that you had concocted from your Dreamweaver state. Still unsure what he did with it before giving it over to you, and what he actually wanted to do in that jail cell, which he had so carefully wanted to go back to. You had eventually managed to convince him. And he was no longer on this plane. He was somewhere else. After turning off the eye in the sky, which had also been a hoax the whole time. But now he is in a safe space. You decided to travel towards Blunder Peak, where there was a special artifact which Trekkie had seen in his vision. And in that vision, we saw an old battle many, many years ago, where a famous orc named Maroon, who had been twice blessed by the gods as a chosen, had had a massive battle, but he had been ambushed while he was already weak, and so he lost. But before doing so, he committed his sword into the ground and destroyed the army around him. That sword was now your new goal. And as you arrived at the top of this mountain, which wasn't really so much a mountain as it was a really big hill, you realized that all the snow that you thought that you were about to walk into was actually not snow, but it was bones of previous battles. People who had tried to grab the sword before and failed. Or simply other travelers who had been caught by nature. Sean and Trekkie both decided to go forth and try to grab the sword and pull it out. In doing so, alerting the Achindum Warden, who then approached you as a sunken Viking ship on top of a mountain. And as it changed its form into what could best be described as a wooden dragon, it had a message for you. And the message was...
Well, fair. I've got a good feeling about this.
Other than that, there was a few other things that did happen. You started hearing the sounds of war horns and drums and people beating on shields. And just because of that, I have some special music that I'm going to put on instead of the one that we have right now, just for ambience's sake. Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear it, but
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
all
cool
our guests
'cause
will.
The audience knows when things are getting scarier. We won't.
True. Very true. So I'm putting on a little bit of Viking music for the better part of what you can't hear or see. What also happens is that I need Celeste and Ingwe to make a strength saving throw.
Strength? That's my best stat.
We're safe.
I can't remember what at the end Trekkie did something to us. Did that give us any buffs or anything?
Oh, I did do it.
Have 5 extra 10 hit
I don't think you...
points. That's wrong.
Yeah, I think that was what it was, yeah. I think
Motivational speech.
Right. Yep.
That's a little loud.
Manage on stuff.
For an hour,
Yes.
you get 5 temporary hit points and advantage on wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
That's not strength.
Ooh, that's a decent roll.
Oh, mine is 2.
11 roll.
Oh wait, no, it's not. I'm looking it upside down.
Or an 11. How come I...
Right.
Oh, because I'm gonna bring protection.
Fair enough. And Celeste, what did you get?
Well, I thought I rolled a natural 17. I was very excited, but turns out I was looking it upside down. It was actually a 4.
Wait, how did you get a 4 out of that?
Well, because it's like the way like the 4 is.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's like
I
a
guess.
7 with like
Right.
So I got a 5.
Cool.
Very strong, Celeste.
Ooh, you
So-
know it, boy.
Both of you two, because of where you're standing, feel something grab your feet and pull itself up. As you see skull after skull appear in a circle around you, and you two are being held in place right now by an army of skeletons appearing around the fight.
Are they just here to watch as well? They just
Here
needed
to
a help
watch.
up. They just needed a hand up.
No, they're holding you in place there for a little bit at least. But as soon as they arrive at their full size, they let you go. But you can hear them whisper, enjoy the show. And you can see that most of these individuals here, they don't look like they are that much decayed, right? So these are the people who have come for the sword previously. Let me just switch the camera to unhide that one. Boom! There we go. So I tried to make it a little bit better quality, so for you guys to see as well today. And I'm not sure why the there we go. Oh.
Fuzzy for me to see, but there.
If you click on it, it should open it in a better quality, hopefully. If not, I will point it out. The entire ring is skeletons. Around, there's a few individuals here and here. They're all ghosts. This here is Ingwe, right here. This is Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, unfortunately, I don't have your mini yet, Trekkie, but you are over there at the moment where the sword was, and in front of you, a 25-foot high dragon made of wooden beams and parts of a ship, with wings folding out, with shields on it. And I need you two to roll initiative. Everyone roll initiative, actually, just in case.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder as well, both Sean and Drekkie have a point of inspiration each.
Dark
Right.
D8 or 6?
8.
Sweet.
Right.
Can I add inspiration to the initiative roll?
I believe you
I think
can,
it's just,
can't you?
I think it's just attack rolls and saving throws.
Then no.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's only for attack. That's why it's a little bit more finicky. Yep.
Got a 3.
Oh,
3.
alrighty.
And Sean?
Got a 9.
9.
Rolled a 3, but I got a 9.
Fair enough. Celeste?
11.
And Ingwe?
11 too, but I got 10.
Okay. Let me just write this one out quickly. So...
I just grabbed the sword and I'm just in such shock about what's happening that I'm just like... John, that ship turned into a dragon.
So I'm not quite sure if you other two are going to join in on this, but let's just do it the way that is going initiative-wise. First thing that does happen is that Sean, you notice your wife amongst the undead, and she is hammering her fist onto her shield as loud as she can, and she's just yelling your name.
Ooh.
And Trekkie.
Do I see which general direction? In the
She is over here at the moment.
Okay.
She's behind some of the other ones, but she's definitely walking around the circle, kind of trying to heighten the spirit, if you can say so.
Okay. Sweet.
And Trekkie, you notice your great-great-grandfather. You have only seen him from drawings and from carvings, but he's also over here, watching, trying to heighten the movement. But other than that, travel around, we have Celeste.
That's me! So Celeste is going to turn and kind of like look towards Ingwe and say, they did say that only those two could go further, correct? What are we supposed to do? Moral support, I suppose. Magic support. And then she is going to, as an action, she is going to kind of like lift up her hand, and as she does, she's going to like inscribe a glyph into the air that glows, like sparklers when you like do it and they disappear and they kind of hang. She's going to do that in the air for a little bit, and she will, as an action, cast Blade Ward on herself.
Right. Rightio. Blade one on Celeste. There you go. All good.
And bonus action. Nothing at the moment.
Radio.
So she'll stand there, trace a sigil in the air quickly as she like glows like bright orange, and then it fades. And she's gonna just look towards Ingrid and go, magic support. And that'll be her turn.
Right. Okay. Next up, we have Ingwe.
Ingwe. Pulls out my thing. Ingwe starts pulling out his hand like this, like he's stroking a horse, getting ready to mount it, and he will cast Conjure Animals. And
What?
next to each of the four of us will appear a Fey Warhorse.
Just a Fey Warhorse.
I can do 4.
Right. I will make one of them a giant wolf and one a bear because I don't have enough horses. So, do you want them like in between you or just?
Well, rules as written, they operate on a group on initiative.
On what? Sorry, on your initiative.
No. So I'm supposed to roll initiative for the horses.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
And so I'm imagining because actually how I want to use this is have a million cows all run and charge together. But how I'd like to use it in this specific situation, kind of obviously, is to give each person a mount. So
Right.
I would not according to the rules, for the mounts to operate on the initiative of their person.
Right. Just roll one initiative for now, and then we use that for the first round until people figure out what's going on.
Oh. And so my verbal instruction will be to the horses is to follow, become the best mounts you've ever been.
All right.
So
Okay.
there should be a mount next to me and a
Right.
mount next to Celeste.
I see what you mean now. Yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
put them like this instead. So.
And then, if possible, use my bonus action to mount my horse.
Sure, we can say that. But what happens before you do that is, as soon as you cast that spell, the crowd goes, "Yeah, another contender!" and you get pushed into the circle. So we can definitely say that you are mounted on that horse, but now you're part of the game.
Yeah, great. So I will, mount on the horse, and then I'm gonna do the you know how they the Rohingya, the Rohirrim, where you bang the things. So are these people generally positive towards us? They're the crowd, so we can
It's like the ancestors are watching and cheering on, hoping for the best outcome possible. If you die, you'll join them. If you don't,
And so, are they corporal? When I raise
the circle is corporal,
stick
but
and
around
try to
them.
hit their sticks.
Yes,
They
yeah,
bangs
yeah.
into them? Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. So the whole circle there is corporeal, but everything outside is more ghostial, spirits. It's a little hard to see, unfortunately, because it's blue, but there is a whole bunch of spirits around there as well.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to run. So I'm going to kind of be heading towards the dragon. Maybe do me 40 feet around the outside of the circle.
Right. So.
This is a bad move.
Around over there then. Right. All good? That you?
Ingwe, what are you doing?
Sean, you are up with a 9.
Okay. First of all, look around, seeing my wife, taking in a deep breath, closing my eyes for a moment, exhaling, letting the cold air float out in front of me, and then look over at Trekkie, nod my head. I'm gonna climb onto the horse.
What?
And I'm gonna get it to start moving towards the construct, the dragon of sorts.
Nice.
And as it begins to move, once it knows the direction to head, John doing John, I'm going to attempt to lift myself and stand on the back of the horse. And
Right.
I'm going to bang my axe onto the front of my shield. And as soon as I get within range, I'm going to dive for it. And I'm going to try and mount this thing. I want to try to climb onto the back of this thing.
Every time.
So I'd say you need to do a acrobatics check to stay on the horse.
Yep.
Are you proficient in riding?
Oh, good question. That would be proficiency in vehicles, right?
No, actually, I don't think it's actually a thing in D&D. Are you proficient in animal handling?
Good question. No.
Then with disadvantage.
Okay, acrobatics with disadvantage.
Yes, because you're doing something that I've only seen like a handful of people do.
Oh yeah. This is
Even though the movies always do it, but
John
yeah.
pictures things in his head
one.
going amazingly, or I should say me, and then being like, all right, now to put them into action. Case in point, natural one.
Oh. Roll a d4 for me.
Yep.
Every
See how
time,
close
John.
you get.
1.
1. Okay. So you get up on the horse, and as soon as you get up on the horse and move 5 feet, you literally just fall straight off and land on the side.
Beautiful. I should take 1 damage. That's fellas.
Yeah, sure. We can say it's taking 1 damage. That's, I guess, very accurate. But you didn't make it very far.
This is going so well, you guys.
Is
In
he
that
prone on
case-
the ground?
Yeah, he's prone on the ground now. Yeah.
Okay.
But you haven't used your movement, though. Like, you used my feet of movement to do that. So I would say that you can probably get up.
If that's the case, then I'm going to stand up. Yeah.
And as you fall off, you just hear, ooh, in the crowd.
Less flashy, Sean. Less flashy. And I'm gonna leave the horse where it is for now, and I'm just gonna run up to this thing.
What?
Get as close as I can. I don't know if I'll make it. I think it's gonna be close.
Sure. You're actually 5 feet away because you had to get on the horse and fall off and move half your speed to get up and stuff. So you're 5 feet away from it. Well,
In that case, I'm gonna use my action to dash, and I'm gonna try and move behind it.
right.
And I am going to. I think that's all I'll do this turn. Just going for the cool and the crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just gonna run around back, axe and shield in hand, catching my breath a bit and then slowly rejoin in with the banging.
Right. All good. Next up, we have the Warden. So the first thing it's going to do is that it is going to completely ignore your horse, but it's going to use its breath weapon on Ingwe on the horse. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Ingwe, for you and for your horse. As it's turning this way now. Let's first attack.
Ingwe has a 16 and horse has a what is horse? Horse has a 7.
Okay, so you pass, but the horse does not. So so 9 points of what do you call that? Piercing damage. 9 points of piercing damage to your horse, and you take half as it unleashes a volley of splinters and broken wood that just covers the whole area and just pierces through everything inside. And then it's going to turn around and face Sean. And it's going to attack him 3 times. And it's going to be just one of its wings with a shield and one of its wings with a shield, and then it's going to go in for I wouldn't call it a bite because technically it doesn't have teeth, but more like crushing between its jaws.
A clamp.
It hits you with its bite, I think. So that is... Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I'm looking at the wrong stats here.
Got that 19 AC now.
19 for one and 29 for the second.
Yep, they hit.
Right. So the bite.
That first roll must have been like a natural 1.
It was a 2. So 5 bludgeoning damage from the bite. And where are my dice when I need them? And 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the shield hitting you in the upper torso.
Total of 13.
Yes, and that is its turn for now. And it is holding in action. So next up we have the horses. They're kind of already doing what I told them to do, so now they're just waiting. Next up we have Trekkie at the very bottom of the rut.
Yay! So this sword that I have in my hand isn't moving.
It is still plunged into the rock bottom, and it is not budging.
Okay. I'm gonna let go of the sword. Look at John as he falls off his horse and just shake my head. And then I am going to jump on the horse next to me and just ride straight towards the dragon.
Right.
And as I'm doing so, I'm going to bonus action cast spiritual weapon.
Right. I also need you to make a dex save.
Alright.
I'm guessing you're going all the way to it.
As far as I can get, yeah. 11, yeah, 11.
You fail. As the tail of this creature comes up through the ground and knocks you off your horse and pins you to the ground underneath it. It just holds you there. Everything else you did before then, you can still do that too. But right now, you're currently pinned to the ground.
Can I swing at him with...
You can.
Can I just use a cold breath weapon on him? Let's do that.
You can do that too. You can still attack him. You can just not move.
Yeah, I'll use a cold breath weapon on him. 2d10 cold damage in a 30-foot line. So just straight up at him.
Wait. Is there a save on that?
Save is Dex DC 13.
You failed that, but I'm going to use a legendary resistance to pass that.
Well, it's still hard.
He's a tough guy, this guy.
8. Half of 8.
4. Right. Rightio. That is your turn for now, I guess?
Yep, that'll do.
Right. Top of the round, we have Celeste.
Can't believe I'm at the top with an 11.
Well, tell me about it. I was hoping I was going to go first.
I was hoping I'd get better than 3.
So I'm going to climb up onto my horse. And as I'm climbing up, I'm going to reach around and draw my bow from where I am. And I'm going to go and I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to hold my action until it successfully attacks one of my party members. I'm going to just hold it here, like stay like aiming it like towards like his mouth.
You still have your blade ward up, right?
No.
Right.
It only lasts for one round.
Okay, just checking because to put these things on, it gets complicated. Cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Are you moving closer, or are you staying where you are?
No, she.
Nope.
I think with the range of a longbow, she needs to remain 60 feet away. I think.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that, to be honest.
Okay, cool. I
That
don't-
gets super complicated. Suddenly, you even have to measure how things are. But that's the way. That's cool, especially for this. And you can hear the crowd like, "Yeah, she's ready to go."
She's like shaking slightly as she like pulls back the string. But yeah, she's going to hold it until it attacks someone else.
Right. Next up, we have Ingwe. Actually, is that spell a concentration spell?
Yeah, I rolled.
Okay, cool. Good.
Ingwe is going to bonus action. I'm going to get off my horse and I'm gonna say, "Kick the horses!" And then I'm going to turn into a wolf, giant dire wolf.
Right. Now I'm running out of shit here. I
Or did you use the wolf as one
We're
of the
gonna have
wolves?
every
Yeah.
single comms minis on the map.
Use a dinosaur.
I still have plenty more where this comes from, but you don't want me to use the bigger one, see?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right, you are now a wolf, even though you look like a snow leopard.
I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use my action to bite the wooden constructy thing.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Nice.
For how many dice do I roll? I'm managing too many animals.
It's like you're a zookeeper.
12, 15 piercing damage.
Right, yeah. It looks unscathed, pretty much. But you get a few chunks. You get a little bit of wood in there. A little bit of splinters. You might have to worry about that, but other than that, you're fine. Right.
It's my turn.
Next up, Sean.
Okay. Less ridiculous. Swing! Swing, 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 swing.
Go for it.
Okay, and this will be first time with the Thunder Axe.
Yeah.
Woo! 13?
Misses.
Second time's a charm.
Don't forget you've got inspiration, unless you've already used it.
Not yet, not yet. I was gonna hold it. Yeah, less. A lot less.
It just parries it with its shields. It has 8 shields, so.
Why not? Action Surge. After that embarrassing fall, gotta go again. God damn. 9.
I swear to God, you always miss.
Yeah, if for some reason, as soon as it's like attack rolls, just you won't roll above a 10. Until now, 11 plus was my bonus 16.
Misses.
Oh no!
The shield blocks it so hard that you kind of get pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buckle myself down. Just gonna hold my shield up, and this is gonna be tougher than I thought.
You also notice that the spirit of your wife is still walking around on the outside cheering on, but she's wearing full battle gear now with a shield and sword. You never really seen her like that. Never seen her in her natural habitat in that sense, but she looks like she could fucking murder this thing alone.
Hell yeah.
And she is just cheering on, cheering your name. Next up is the Wardenstone. So it's going to attack Trekkie with 1 attack while he's laying down. And now he has advantage against him because he's pinned to the ground. That is a 22 to hit, so that's pretty much a hit. That's the wrong dice. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
1 attack on Ingwe.
Can I use a reaction?
Yeah.
So I got Wrath of the Storm. So make a dex saving throw of DC 14, or you take 2d8 lightning, half damage.
It fails that one.
Okay, I will grab my 2d8. 1, 2. You take 5 and a 7 is what? 12. 12 lightning damage.
Lightning damage.
Does a 17 hit?
No.
Alright, Celeste arrow goes long.
I took
Sorry.
7.
Right.
I took 7
Ingwe.
damage.
Yes. And Ingwe, you get hit with a 20 to hit.
Cool.
That's 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And 1 attack on Sean.
And
Which
the
is-
horses disappear.
Right. Okay. So.
Didn't do me much good anyway.
But now Ingwe can be a wolf. Now Ingwe can be a wolf. There you go. Anyway, and Sean, you get hit with a 32.
Missing.
And that's also a bite. What the fuck? Okay. 5 points of bludgeoning damage. What the fuck? And it uses its tail. So it lifts up and then it slams down into Trekkie again as well. With that 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And another 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And the horses are gunsies. So now it is Trekkie's turn, but you can move again.
Move again. Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up, I guess. And then I am going to hold my hand out to the dragon. And I'm going to cast Whole Lightning.
Rightio.
Dex save of 14.
That's a natural one, but it uses another resistance to pass.
Okay, so that'll be 3d10 lightning damage. 1. 9, 21.
21.
21 half.
So, 11. I'll just make 11.
I think it should be 10 because it's lower. Rounded 10.
That's right. I'll just change it here. Cool.
Cool.
I don't
And
think
then
words
with
gonna
my
make a difference.
bonus action, I'm gonna get right up close to the dragon and then swing with my.
Right. Go for it.
17 plus 6 is 23.
Hits.
1, 2, 3, d8. No, not 3d8. 1d8 plus 3. That's better. 5. Oh, like, hang on, that's wrong.
Well, I mean,
I
happens.
wish it was 3d8 plus 3.
Right. Is that you?
Yep, that'll be me. So I just run up screaming at this dragon.
You carve off like a good chunk, almost like it's almost like a peg leg or something like that. Just kind of falls off the side. This wood's old and destroyed,
Yeah.
but it's still holding on. Next up, we have Celeste.
Quick question, if I may. Sorry, just
Yeah.
about Drekic's thing, just because this is a spell I'm very familiar with.
Yep.
Was it considered stormy before?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's got an extra d10.
Oh, sorry. Yep, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, so I was going to say, depending on the storm.
I didn't
you're
realize it was
calling
storming. I thought it was.
No. It was a storm forming.
I got a lightning cleric on up my game, and this
That would have been an
spell
extra
is mundane.
7. it would have been 28 total, so 14.
How much extra did you do?
7 extra.
7 extra. Nice. All good?
Cool, thank you.
Nice. Celeste, you're up.
Both Trekkie and Jean are standing now, correct? Neither of them are prone.
None of them are prone, no.
I think
Right.
Celeste is about to be pushed in, isn't she?
No, she has already gone onto the horse, so technically she moved in.
And then she fell. Because the
And then
horse
she fell into the snow because the horse is gone.
Oh, is she prone now because the horse disappeared?
Nah, I would say that you're sitting there, like, it's pretty easy to just like, oh, okay. This one's a dummy.
So, as her action, she is going to kind of just like look up at this dragon thing, and then trace a sigil again in the air and cast Blade Ward on herself. And then she's going to look quickly between Jean and Drekik, and then go, "You're right, boys. You got this right. You don't need our help. Maybe a little bit." And she will bonus action healing word Jean. That is 6 points of heals. I'm not the big heals. Not wasting, but
Yeah, definitely useful.
spells.
Right.
And then she will kind of just stay where she is.
Next up, Ingwe.
Ingwe the wolf is going to try and bite the thing again for 21 to hit with the bite.
Hits.
And 9 points of piercing damage.
Radio.
And it needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw. I can imagine it's pretty strong, although I've noticed it's not very dexterous.
I've noticed that too. I'm happy.
Well,
Kill the wolf.
I rolled pretty shit, but that's an 18. Right.
If
That's
that's
your turn?
rolling shit.
Well, I hit with the 7 before.
Yep,
Right.
that's my turn.
Right. Sean, you're up.
Sean, rinse and repeat. Swing! Ooh! Natural 18. 23.
Hits.
Woo!
Use that wood chopper axe.
Yeah. You're made for this.
They call me the wood chipper.
What the hell my D8s go?
Yeah, I have the same problem here. Can't find any of them.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. There we go. Woo! Whopping 3 damage.
Well, thanks for that. That makes my calculation easier because that makes it a full number now.
And second attack.
Makes it an even 100.
Second attack is a no, but almost as good. Natural 19, but because I'm a champion fighter, that is a critical for me.
That is a critical hit, yeah.
Do you prefer people roll double the amount of dice or double the number that is rolled on the standard dice?
I usually just double what you roll.
Okay, cool.
But if you strongly want to do it the other way, I don't see a problem.
That's my preferred method too.
Right.
So that is
Nice.
better at 10 slashing damage.
Right. And you did roll a natural critical hit with your new
So I was
axe.
gonna ask, does that count? Was it only a natural 20 or was it a critical hit?
It counts for that too because of your class.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
How much did you give for the first part of damage, sorry?
So that was a 10 slashing damage.
Yep.
And then finally the comeback on the rolls, 18 on the d20, so 18 lightning damage.
Nice. So that's...
Just nothing but
Imagine if that
misses
hits
and
you,
then
though.
suddenly... Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Celeste
just-
is in her mind. Whoa, when he
you just-
finally hits, it's really hard.
You just hear this echoing boom, almost like an explosion as lightning just rips part of this off.
Hell yeah.
You can see it starting to
that's-
psst a little bit where it hit.
Hell yeah. that's me.
What
He's
do?
got some cool abilities, but also can't do much with the bonus action, so
Nah.
I'm gonna hold it there.
Fair enough. That's you? Right.
Yep.
It's decided that Sean definitely isn't nice to play with, so it's going to attack him 4 times.
No chance.
As it goes to attack, Celeste goes, "Oi! Ingrid could set you on fire if you wanted to." And she will use her reaction for cutting words.
It's a minus d4, right? Or
It's a D8.
Right.
Let me.
as 2 of them always mix up.
I think it's just whatever my inspiration die is.
That's probably very true. That makes sense.
So I can just it just says expend one of your bardic dice.
Cool.
Oh my god, where am I? D8. That's a D10. That's not even close, Laura. It just rolls a D10. That's a 10 on the dice. Oh, that's an 8.
8.
Hell yeah.
So 8 subtracted from that. First 3 attacks are definitely
Makes it
misses.
23. Oh,
6 minus that's all 4 miss.
All 4?
I rolled 2 2s, a 6, and a 1.
I thought you said you were using your good dice tonight, Tom.
We'll see, Laura. We'll see. Anyway, that is its turn because it thought that it was gonna destroy Sean, but it didn't. Next up, we have Trekkie.
Cool. How hurt does John look? Does he look alright?
Golden.
Golden. Good.
Golden.
Alright, in that case, I am going to simply smack him with a mace.
Smack Sean with the mace. Yeah.
Smack the
Yeah,
dragon
this is
with a
how we
mace.
used to hype each other up back in the day.
Also, gold you normally bury out on the ground, Sean. Just a heads up. So.
I'm going to ignore that. That's 9. And then I'm going to attack with my spiritual weapon.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't actually put a spiritual weapon on there. I will use this purple person.
Cool.
That's your spiritual weapon.
What
What does your weapon look like?
What is my spiritual weapon? Oh gosh. I would probably like.
It's a cheese cutter.
I'd probably. It's like a big, massive greatsword. That I guess has the marks of all the gods going up the blade.
Right.
You don't even need that other sword. This one's cool.
This is my spiritual weapon. And then it'll be a 20 to hit with the spiritual weapon.
Hits.
And then that is 28 plus 3. 10.
Rightio. Good to know.
And then I'm gonna look at John and just go, well, this is a bit of a challenge, isn't it?
Right. Next up, we have Celeste.
Oh, that's me again. Sorry. I didn't realize my time was coming around so quickly. I don't know what to do. Sorry.
It's
I'm
okay.
usually like okay with like doing stuff, but right now I'm kind of just like at a loss. Of what
It's
to
okay. I'll counterspell it anyway.
You can't counterspell a dagger.
Okay, time stop. No. Nah.
Oh fuck.
Take
She's going
time.
to look at the construct in front of her, and going to kind of look between her friends and look towards it. And go. So you're the mighty warden that's been sent to protect this sword. I was expecting something better. Vicious mockery.
That's a save, isn't it?
Yes it is. It's a wisdom save.
That's a natural 1. But it uses its resistance again.
How many does it have?
9 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 19. 19 plus 3 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 22. 22 plus 3 is 23. 23 plus 3 is 24. 24 plus 3 is 25. 25 plus 3 is 26. 26 plus 3 is 27. 27 plus 3 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 29. 29 plus 3 is 30. 30 plus 3 is 31. 31 plus 3 is 32. 32 plus 3 is 33. 33 plus 3 is 34. 34 plus 3 is 35. 35 plus 3 is 36. 36 plus 3 is 37. 37 plus 3 is 38. 38 plus 3 is 39. 39 plus 3 is 40. 40 plus 3 is 41. 41 plus 3 is 42. 42 plus 3 is 43. 43 plus 3 is 44. 44 plus 3 is 45. 45 plus 3 is 46. 46 plus 3 is 47. 47 plus 3 will. And she will bonus action. Give it the finger.
That's a free action in my world. It's like hand sign, like hand language, right?
Sign language.
Yeah, sign language, sorry, I couldn't even say that.
Hand language.
Hand language.
Language of hands.
That is mouth words.
Alright, that's...
Right.
I don't think no one looked too, like, on the brink of death, correct? Like, no one is, like, bleeding or gashes?
Don't think so. I think the one who has taken the most damage right now is Trekkie. Everyone else has taken mild amounts of damage.
How's Drakik? Does Drakik have, like, any, like, visible, like, wounds, or...?
3/4, so probably got a couple of scratches on.
Yeah, probably has a black eye about now.
Alright, she'll go towards Drakik and go, Drakik, this is supposed to be your moment. Show us what you can do. And bonus action healing word. Our friend over here.
I feel like she's nicking.
Are you casting vicious mockery on me?
God, come on, Trekkie.
And to rub
negative.
salt in the wound, I rolled a 1 on the dice.
Oh.
No, so it's a d4 plus 4, so it's a 5.
Okay.
Well,
That's
fair.
It's me, the useless bard in the back, just going cheerleading.
Fair enough. Next up, we have Ingwe.
Ingwe is going to bite. I'm gonna move as well. So I'm just gonna move for future reference. Is there room between the thingy and me? And the skulls? Like, can it move backwards? Can I move around, kind of just a little bit further?
Yeah, you can do that.
I want to be like a triangle attack. And it is attack formation. I'm hoping to be at least 5 feet away from John and Drakik is the goal. That is a 20 dirty to hit.
Hit.
And it is 7, 10, 9 points of piercing. When you said it hardly does anything, it's like, because it's got lots of damage, not, it looks like I'm not biting.
It still takes the damage that you were expected to.
Yes, yeah.
It just doesn't look like it's hurt that much.
just got 700 health. Fine.
800, please.
Yep.
That's you.
That's me.
Next up, we have Sean.
Alrighty, stick with the classic. I am going to flavor-wise this time round. I'm going to attempt to try go low and try chip away at the wood, sort of that's keeping it up.
Right.
And swing. Ooh, it's another not so great one. 11.
Misses.
And second swing, same spot. Better, but not great. 14.
Misses.
Yeah. I am going to just scooch around best I can. Sort of get as far behind it as I can.
Right.
Yeah, I'll probably be off camera, so to speak. Or
Get
not
kind
off
of right
camera.
behind it there.
Yeah.
Because Ingwe's kind of in the spot there.
Yeah.
Right behind it.
And then that's me.
Right in. Now it's his turn. So for his first attack, I need everyone in melee combat with it to make a dexterity saving throw.
Why isn't it wisdom?
Oh, I'm much more dexterous as a wolf.
What'd you get, Ingwe?
I don't know, because I'm much more dexterous as a wolf.
What did you get, Drakik?
15.
You pass. Sean?
7.
You fail.
11.
And you fail as well. You both take 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're pushed back 15 feet.
50 feet? 15.
15. Sean can't be moved that far back. So you take an extra d4 damage, which is 2.
Pushing him
and you get caught by the crowd, like, yeah, and then they push you back in.
Dope. Is there a gap between me and the creature now, or is there?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I'm assuming just a small gap. Yeah, cool.
Right. The second attack is going for Trekkie,
Who would have thought?
which is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool. And then I'll use my action where you make a dex saving throw.
17.
17, yeah, that's fine. And then you take half as much damage. Oh, six. That's three. 3 lightning
How much?
damage.
3 lightning damage. There you go. Second attack is going to be at Sean, which is 27.
Yep, you brought it on.
Because it has kind of reach a bit. That is, that's 12 points of bludgeoning damage. So one of the shields just clocks you right in the face. And for the last attack, it's going to throw a shield at Celeste.
Dope.
That is a 24 to hit.
Yep.
And that is, max damage. 16 points of bludgeoning damage as you get hit in the face like Captain America.
Can I, like, for flavor's sake, because that is over half of Celeste's HP, have her, like, knocked back, like, kind of, like, on the ground, like,
Right.
as
Sure.
that hits her. I just feel like half of her HP in one hit, she's like...
And the shield just disappears after it hits you as well. That was all 4 of its attacks. So now it is Drekkik's turn.
Ow! Is everyone alright?
I'm fine.
Can I use bonus action ability as an action or
A bonus action ability as an action?
healing word's a bonus action. I also want to swing with my spiritual weapon. Also a bonus action.
Oh, no. You have to be one or the other then.
Okay, just check. In that case, where's Celeste?
She is all the way across the map on the other side.
Oh, sorry, Celeste, you're gonna just have to sit there. Bit busy. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Right.
1d8 plus 3. 7. 8. And I'm gonna bonus action attack with my spiritual weapon.
Go for it.
20. Come on, roll good. On the floor. 18 plus 6.
Right. Is that was the damage or?
And the damage is 1d8 plus 3.
Right.
I always
Just
do
checking.
2d8. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 lightning. Oh, no,
Lightning.
Not 8 lightning. No, it's not 8 lightning. 8 something. 4. 8 force damage.
Right. That's all good. Right up.
That's it. That's all I've got. I just go, come on, guys, get up. We'll get him.
Right. Next up, we have Celeste.
So Celeste, like, on the ground, and, like, reeling, kind of sits up and puts her hand over her forehead, pulls it away, sees, like, blood. It's like this gash across her forehead. And then she looks up towards the thing, just starts muttering under her breath, as the air around her starts to shimmer, as she begins speaking in Sylvan underneath her breath, as she casts dissonant whispers at the creature.
Right.
And I'm guessing that it's going to use, if it fails, use its legendary resistance, but it is a wisdom saving throw for that one.
What is the DC? I rolled 18.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure it's not more than 18. I'll be very surprised.
It's a 25, actually.
Well, I didn't add any bonuses yet. That was just a third roll.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So what's that? Numbers. 7 points of psychic damage. Half
There we
of
go.
15.
Yeah. Right on.
And as a bonus action, she'll put her hand back up to her forehead and cast Healing Word.
Right.
And stitch the wounds back together.
All good.
Are you gonna roll better than a 5?
And half movement to kind of like clamber back up again as she's doing that.
Right. You can see one of the skeletons have a big indent in his forehead, and he's like, "Get him!"
I'm trying, can't you see? I'm trying.
Next up, we have Ingwe.
Ingwe runs back up and doesn't hit the thing.
Fair enough.
Hey guys, I got this. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna be next to Drekkic this time. I'm gonna be like.
Right. So spiritual weapon in between you two right now, but you can definitely do that. All good. That you?
Yep.
Sean Ordensmore.
Alright. First and foremost, gonna take a deep breath in and exhale that cold air. Literal second wind. Heal myself up a bit. Which would be... Oh, not bad. 9 hit points. I'm then going to look up shield on the back. And so that's going to drop my AC a bit. But I am going to attempt to run around the side, and I'm going to try climb this thing. I want to try get onto this thing's back.
Okay.
And yeah.
Just make a general attack roll to see if you can get a hold of it.
To get flanking bonus?
Sure.
Does that mean advantage? Or...
Yeah.
Good, because it was a 2. Much better. 22.
You definitely hit it. And then you want to climb up it?
I want to climb up onto this thing.
That's another acrobatics check.
Yep.
Hey, proficient with riding dragons. Last time it was horses.
Yeah.
It's a seahorse.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is what I'm gonna use my inspiration for. 14.
Well, you seem to manage to climb up it. Like roughly like halfway up. Like climbing takes about half movement speed, and you have to move a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
But we can say that you're kind of halfway up on the dragon.
Yep.
But you are now there.
Trying to get out of the way of this thing's bite, basically, and get in a position where I can just start hitting this thing.
Right.
So that would have been what my movement. Is that an action as well?
It has to be your action if you're going to climb up as well, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I've used my bonus action to heal myself a bit. Sweet. I'm in a position that I'm happy with, and now I'm just going to hold on for dear life. Just necklock this thing, headlock
Right.
it, and, yeah.
Alright. It's now its turn. And it is going to...
I hit Ingwe barking.
It's going to attack Drekkic twice.
Out. Rude.
Natural 20 for one.
Yeah, fair. That'll hit.
And the other one's a 13 to hit. I'm guessing that's a miss.
But it doesn't matter. Nat 20 counts for 2s.
I guess so, yeah. But it could be 2 natural 20. Where's my freaking dice? There you go. $18 points of bludgeoning damage as it just whacks you right in the stomach with one of the shields.
And as you do that, can you make your dex saving throw of 14?
That's an 18.
Alright, I rolled max damage, so that must be half.
How much was that you said?
You take 8 force damage.
8.
Or what, 8 lightning damage.
Wait. I do.
This dragon hurts.
And with one of its attacks, is going to collapse its wings onto Sean.
Yep. I like it.
17 to hit. That was really shit.
That hits.
Oh,
Put my shield on my back. Yeah.
that's all right.
My shield on my back. It drops my AC by 2.
That's a pretty good roll. 26 points of bludgeoning damage as it just fly swats you.
Rolls off its back unconscious. Onto the side.
John! No!
And actually, like, I lift my axe in such a cool way in that, like, I'm ready to bring this thing down on its head, and then suddenly,
Like a fly.
And its last attack is going to throw another one at Celeste. 24 to hit again. 12 points of bludgeoning damage. As this time it hits you right underneath the ribs, and you can just hear.
Knock the voice out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking. I'm just following.
Swallow air, just swallow air. And that is its turn for now.
It's my turn, isn't it?
It is now Drekik's turn.
Can I? Where's John? Where do you fall?
He is right on the other side of the front of this creature right now.
Can I go round? Do I have enough movement to get round to John without breaking?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 10 feet. So.
I'd like to get around there and then second level cure wounds on John.
No problem, you can do that.
So 2d8 plus. Come on. 8, 11. Take 11 hit points back. John! And I just sort of slap him across the face. John, get up!
Yep.
We've only just begun, my friend. Let's go!
We've only just begun.
And as this happens, when you see him, Sean, his vision is kind of blurry. Like, you just took a hell of a hit, but your vision gets a little blurry, and it kind of mixes between you seeing Drekik and your wife. And as Drekik say these things, your wife say, "Come on, old man. This is no place to die. Show me what you got."
Show me what you're working with.
We what you got. And then for my bonus action, oh my god. Celeste, how hurt are you?
You? I mean, I'm halfway. Like, it's not too bad because I healed
Okay.
myself before.
It's like, do I heal John Drekik or you?
Who is in? I mean, do what Drekik would do.
We're all below half health.
Don't like. Celeste also has heals. Like, if
Someone
Drekik
think
would
it's
know.
the wolf.
I think what Drekik
We're bystanders.
the wolf. I think what Drekik would do is he'd look back at the he'd look back at the big dragon and he'd shatter. Is there a way to cast shatter on the dragon without hitting any of them?
What's the range of shadow? Like, what is the radius?
It is. I got a 10-foot area and a range of 60 feet. So.
No, it's not big enough. The base of it itself. If you did that, you would hit everyone.
Well, I don't want to do that. That would be bad.
Because everyone's positioned around, and it's a little hard not to hit anyone.
Oh wait, no, but I've already used my action on cure wounds anyway.
Well, there you go.
I'll just spiritual weapon dragon,
But-
which is on the opposite side of me. Does that mean it's
On the opposite side right now is Engway, so.
yeah, because I'm on that side, but I think my spiritual weapon's still over there.
I mean,
Unless it follows me.
opposite of you is opposite of the spiritual weapon is Sean. So
Oh, okay.
That's where Drekkic is, because Drekkic has to touch him.
Yeah, Drake, I had to move around there.
yeah, it's not a problem. You definitely do.
Okay. So spiritual weapon attack for 23.
Hits.
And 1d8 plus 3. That's 8 more damage. Force damage.
Radio. Right.
Beast is tough, but we can do this. Come on.
Right. That's your turn.
Yep.
Next up, we have Celeste.
She's kind of like down on one knee, like clutching her ribs. She manages, as she watches John fall from the back of the dragon and land on the snow. And as Drekkic's running over towards him, she'll just try and scream out his name, but it's just like, shut up. As she can't breathe because her ribs are cracked. She'll bonus action healing word John at 3rd level.
Go for it.
Just waiting for the counter spell from Tom.
Not this guy. This guy doesn't have any spells really. Like he is just physical. He's a physical.
Yes, 2 4s and a 3. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
That's good.
14, 15
Nice.
points of heal.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you.
Bitteschön.
You've got more
And
health
then
than me now.
she will stand up, kind of like clutching her ribs. And then in the air, she'll wave her hand and cast glyph of, what was it that I called it? What is it? Blade Ward on herself.
Yep. Right,
It's
yeah.
kind of like shimmers. And then she's kind of like fall forward again.
That's against slashing damage, isn't it?
It is bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Good to know. That's you. Anyway. Oh, woof woof.
Is going to move back towards Celeste until he moves out of the dragon's range.
Right. If you do that, you're gonna get smacked.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That was the until he moves out of the range.
How far do I have to move? I gotta smack.
17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
7 points of bludgeoning damage. But you can definitely get 2 if you want.
Yep, and then I'm going to. So Ingwe will appear.
Wait. As a wolf?
Do you mean
Or
as a kobold?
As a
fur.
furball, he will disappear as a wolf.
Right.
And kind of, I imagine he gets smacked in the back and like lands on his hands and knees. Looks at Celeste like, that's what I meant to happen. And turns around and you see a fireball grow up in his hand. And then as it kind of grows in his hand, it grows underneath the dragon thing.
Fireball?
No, it's just no. You see a small ball of fire that's
Right.
for. No, I don't have that spell. I'm not.
Just checking, because you did say
As much as I'm a
fireball.
wizard,
Right,
a
so
small
bonfire.
Fiery thing goes in his hand, and as the small fiery thing, that's just for flavor. It also goes up underneath the dragon in a bonfire,
Right.
which is the spell that I've cast.
Mhm.
Goes underneath the dragon, and he makes a dex save.
That is a 16.
16 is what he needs to do to save.
No, maybe.
So he takes no damage, I think.
Nothing. No.
No damage. No damage.
So he'll continue to take damage if he stays there.
And he will continue to have to make saves if he stays there.
Right.
And then Ingwe will turn invisible.
Right. I will replace you with one of these invisible fuckers.
And
Yes.
he will turn invisible and move. How far did I have to move out of range?
To get to Celeste, you had to use all your movement.
I didn't want to go to Celeste. I wanted to go towards Celeste until I
Okay.
got smacked.
Right, so
So
you would have
trying
been
to figure
around
out
here or something then.
How far? How big is his range?
15 feet.
15 feet is his range. Perfect. And then I'm going to go 15 feet to the right. Just so he doesn't know where I am while I'm invisible.
So to the right. It's like there. Right behind there.
So And I'm kind of just trying. Now I've figured out where his range is. I want to be out of his range
Mhm.
and invisible.
Right.
Okay.
All good.
Yep.
That's you,
That is me.
Sean. You are now conscious again.
Slowly getting to my feet, taking in what people have said, just barely comprehending it in my head, just giving slight nods in general directions. Gonna look out first of all to see if my wife is still around.
She is standing like in front of you. If how should I say? She's up here, but
Yeah.
you're right here, so she's on the other side of those skeletons there, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Get up."
Facing away from the creature as I stand, I'm gonna look at her, just nod as the energy comes back to me and turn, and I'm gonna try to swing in that turning motion. I'm clearly still out of it as I roll a 10. And
Unfortunately,
second attack, 9.
No.
I feel like you're gonna get TPK'd.
He just carves off the sides of most of these shields, and it just kind of blocks it unintentionally.
I'm gonna use my bonus action and or free action to pull my shield back out again.
Right.
Just, come on,
No
you
problem.
big wooden bitch. We ain't done with you. And that's where I'm gonna end it.
Right. Next up, it's its turn. So obviously there's a fire underneath it right now, so it decides to move. So it moves. It's full movement speed, but both Sean and Drekik can make a attack of opportunity, and I guess your spiritual weapon as well,
Oh, cool.
because it's moving out of all your ranges.
Alright, so
Good one. 23 for me.
Hits.
22 for my spiritual weapon, 13 for Drekkie.
Drekik misses. Roll for damage.
Slashing.
Mm-hmm.
Picture it like hooks into the wood and drags me almost a foot.
7 force.
Unconscious.
Right, yeah.
Yes, 7 force.
So it kind of curls up its wings and just pounces into the ground and jumps. And lands here.
Oh no!
And as it does, you also hear it speak again. And it's mimicking Sean's voice. And it says,
Oh, we didn't hear
What was that?
most of that.
We heard shh at the very end.
I think you called me a bitch. That's sexist.
and
I think it was just a delay. Yep, there
Okay. Yep, that, we heard that.
we go.
and it's going to attack Celeste twice. If I can find my D20s. Oh, there we go. Natural 21 and a 14.
Yeah.
Both hit?
14 doesn't.
Okay. Doesn't?
You're a strong, independent woman, Celeste.
8 points of bludgeoning damage. That's the first one. Hits the ground right next to you. And remember, you have your blade ward if it's still up.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is halved. Wait, how did he? No,
I don't
think
know.
it is.
I don't know how Blade Ward works. So.
It's only if it's a weapon attack.
I mean, I guess it's a creature, so
It's up to you how you.
I'd say it counts.
Okay.
I'd say it counts in this case. It's a weapon. The whole thing is a weapon.
So I'd heal myself 3.
And it's good to use. What?
8. No, 4. 4. Sorry. I can't do numbers. I'm stressed.
And it throws 2 more shields backwards. One's going for Trekkie, which is a 20 to hit. One goes for Sean, which is a natural 20 for a 28 or something.
Yeah.
No, not 28. 38, sorry. So the one for
That's
the
plus
one
18 to hit.
Oh. That is 19 points of bludgeoning damage to Trekkie.
Ooh, I'm on 1.
And that's lucky. 5. 10 points of bludgeoning damage to Sean.
So
I rolled
it's
very
John.
low.
I was gonna say
That was a critical hit.
Yeah.
But that is its attacks for now. And next up we have Trekkie.
As that shield comes flying at my face. Oh, that hurt. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds level 2 on myself.
What?
Nine. Gosh, that's not enough. I'm up to 10. I'm gonna bonus action. Healing word. Celeste. Yeah, 1d.
Right.
6 for you, Celeste. And then I'm just going to stumble as close to the dragon as I can.
What's your
Stumble
movement
my way
speed?
along.
What is your movement?
Movement is 30 feet. And
5 feet up.
can I move my spiritual weapon? No, I can't. That's fine.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yep, that'll do.
Next up we have Celeste.
So when it attacked, how did it actually attack her? Did it land on her? Like, what was the actual like movement of the?
So it pounced and landed, and then it attacked twice with 2 different shields, if you can say, like 2 different arms. Like it's part of the wings in a way.
Right. So as it like swings towards her with that second attack, which actually like hit her, because I think the first one missed. Or anyway, as it kind of like swings towards her, she's going to reach up and she's going to try and like grab the. Oh, thank you for the raid.
Thank you, Jake.
She's gonna reach up and try and grab it as it kind of like comes towards her, and she's going to do a shocking grasp on it as she kind of like looks up towards its face as it pulls
Wait.
a bit. She looks up towards it. Shocking grasp. 16 plus 7 for something over 20.
Hits.
So that is. Ooh, that is 4 plus 7 is 11 lightning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll look up towards it, and then look over towards Trekkie, and look back towards Sean. And then she will bonus action Misty Step 30 feet to the left.
Let's go.
And Blade Ward is down. Knock that guy over in the process.
He's just so eager to be part of the fight.
Another one joins the fight.
I've already lost one. I don't have any arms. Right.
And then she'll kind of like look towards both of them, and then as she disappears and then reappears, there's like this flurry of, I don't know if it's not actually snowing, but dust.
It's just bones. All the white stuff is bones.
Bone dust, flurry of bone dust as she kind of lands, and then looks towards both of them and goes, "What? If there's anything you'd like to whip out, anything dramatic, now would be the time. Why don't you ask the god to help you? Isn't this, all for his sake?" That will be her turn.
Right.
Got an excellent point.
Next up, we have Ingwe.
Ingwe will reappear and cast Aura of Vitality. Feel a burst of warmth come out from him, and he will run to the east, away from Celeste, away from everyone. Sorry,
Isn't that best?
I think we see things opposite to you.
Oh, okay. Opposite of Celeste. Cool.
Opposite of Celeste.
Right.
And while he is running that way, Trekkie will take 8 points of heals.
Damage. Right.
Thanks, Ingwe.
So I'm going to go my full movement.
Right. All good.
That's me.
Next up is Sean.
All right. How far away am I from this thing? I want to say I'm just within 30 feet.
You're 45 feet away.
Okay.
40 feet away.
Definitely. I'm gonna keep it simple, because I got a bonus action to get to it, and I got nothing as a bonus action. So what I'm gonna do is I'm instead gonna edge about 15-20 feet towards it, and I'm also gonna circle. Oh wait, yeah, that was me. Duh, I'm all the way up there. No, perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna get to about there, and as I'm running, I'm going to whip out and throw Lascenriol.
Gotcha.
Call it back and throw again.
Fire.
That is a 16.
Misses.
Yeah, and the other one's even lower. Lascenriol.
Sean's very nervous about this fight right now.
Still out of it a little bit, one eye half closed. Just blood, I'm sure, pouring down the side of his face.
Yeah, blood everywhere. Everyone's just covered in blood almost, except for Ingwe.
And yeah, I'm just gonna swing Lascenriol back, pull out the Thunder Axe, and ready myself for what's to come.
Right. Next up is the Warden. So now no one wanted to play ball with it. So it's going to turn around, and the only one in front of it is Trekkie. I mean, technically you can see everyone. So I need Trekkie and Sean to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, not bad.
Bad.
Oh no.
4.
Fail.
Yeah.
18.
I still have
Succeed.
It's just way too low to use it.
12 points of bludgeon. Sorry, 12 points of slashing and piercing damage to Trekkie. And what did I say? 12 points. So 6 points to Sean. As it unleashes another volley of its breath weapon of splinters. Second attack.
How close am I to the dragon, by the way?
Now you're in melee with it because it moved the 5 feet it needed.
So can I use my shield?
You can?
Yeah. I use my shield, which is 1d10 lightning when back within 5 feet. Apparently.
If it successfully blocks, though.
Oh, only if it's successfully blocked. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
so you have to successfully block it. So technically, your shield gives you a +2 armor class. So anything that hits you, that would have hit you without the shield, you can use it on.
Okay, cool. Then I went.
That makes sense.
I'm out of reaction.
Sorry. And it's going to attack Trekkie once. Natural 20. Ooh, this is the good dice.
I'm going down.
Sorry.
Down, boys.
Oh boy.
14 points of bludgeoning damage to Trekkie's face.
I'm down.
And
The
he
healer's
just
out.
take his shield straight to the face. Gets knocked out. The second attack, it's going to throw one of the shields at Ingwe. Which is... that's 23 to hit. That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage, as you also get hit by one of the flying shields. And that is all of its 4 attacks. And now it's Drekik's turn. But because you're unconscious, it's a death save. And I'll roll this one.
Yeah.
And I get a little more.
19, so yep, that'll work.
What's it? Tom's got house rule.
Oh, sorry, I thought we talked about that already.
Alright.
I roll the death saves.
You roll the death saves, okay?
Yes, and then you don't know what they are.
Nice
Oh!
and secret. Yeah,
To make it more stressful.
That's crazy. I don't like it.
That is exactly why it's better to do it that way, because everyone's so scared. Like, you might be rolling 3 pluses, and everyone's like, ah!
Yeah.
Ron, I'm about to join you.
Hello.
And the
Death,
drums?
my old friend.
The drums get a little louder. Next up, we have Celeste.
Celeste is going to look at this thing. And she's
Barbarian.
going to. Alright. So she's gonna kind of like as she watches it knock into Drekik and he's on the ground, bleeding out. She looks back towards it and looks to her friends. And goes, "Is that all you've got? I was expecting something much more impressive." She will vicious mockery as her action on the dragon construct. That's a wisdom save.
Natural 20 again.
Yep. And
That's
then
insane.
she will look towards Drekik on the ground, and she'll take like half a step towards him and hold her hand out, and her palm starts glowing orange, and then she'll start saying, you can kind of hear this in your mind in your weird like limbo, almost dead state. She goes, "Get up, you look pathetic just lying there." And she will bonus action healing word him at 3rd level.
He's always so nice.
So that's a 3, that's a 4, and that's a, it's a 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points of heals.
Oh, that's a good one. Nice.
My eyes just open up and I'm like, why am I on the ground?
Just walk towards you and go, "Get up, Drekik, and finish what you started." That is
Yes,
her turn.
ma'am.
Next up, we have Ingrid.
Actually, she might take some steps.
Okay.
Ingwe,
Not that it matters, I can...
Yeah.
Ingwe will walk 15 feet towards the construct. And then he is going to cast. And while he's walking, John feels the warmth of his passive and gets 4 points of healing. And he's going to cast Thunder Wave, so a giant wave of thunder, a cube of thunder, bursts out in front of Ingwe at the construct, who makes a Constitution save of 15.
Where's my stat? Fails.
And takes 19 points of thunder damage.
Right.
And is knocked back 10 feet.
It does not move back.
Okay.
It is too big and dug into the ground.
And then Ingwe will move back. So I'm going to move lateral, actually, because I don't want to be, because he cone weaponed me at the start. So I want to move down here, so I'm not in a bunch with the...
Right.
Oh, that's a spiritual weapon, isn't it? That'd be gone.
The purple one there. Oh yeah, that's...
Okay. Yeah, as long as I'm...
Rightio. All good.
And then Ingwe will do the thing that he does to turn invisible, except he doesn't turn invisible.
He's like... Right. Sean, you're up.
Right. What size does this creature look like? Would it look,
Size?
Yeah, would it be considered large, huge?
I would say it's huge.
Huge, okay.
You're only fighting the parts that are sticking out of the ground. Like the tail just came up from nowhere.
Right.
So it's pretty big. Like
Yeah.
it's like a adult dragon size, probably even bigger.
Yeah. I'm going to. I probably won't be able to make the full distance, but I'm going to attempt to flank it.
You can definitely get to it.
Yeah.
No problem.
And then, yeah, if this thing looks that big, I'm just going to stick to the classic and go for a swing. I'm going to try and hack at the spine, whatever's
Everyone cross your
getting
fingers
it back to this. Yep.
and toes. Everything. Cross.
So, am I flanking? Is that advantage, or...?
There's no one there to flank with.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's just you right now. Trekkie is on the ground, 10 feet away from it.
Oh, I can see the edge of the wing. I thought that was another person there. I was like, oh yeah, there's someone there. I don't know.
No, it's the shield up here that looks like a base. Sorry.
Yep, no, that's all good. Okay, here goes. 16.
Misses.
And second attack. Oh, 22.
Hits.
Yeah. 4. Pretty sure it's 6, but I'm just gonna confirm. Yes, 6 points of slashing.
Right. It's looking kind of rough.
I hope so.
You can see that some of these wooden boards are kind of falling off a little bit.
You can see one crack up here.
One of the nails gets pushed in. Should have done.
Spin his axe a little in his hand, and while he's standing behind this thing, feeling very slightly more safe for a moment, he's going to try to take a quick glance in the reflection of his axe and see if he can see anyone, mainly his wife, but anyone of recognition in the crowd behind him.
She's almost crowd surfing, like she's trying to get across to see what's going on because she's behind everyone else. But you can definitely see that she's paying attention.
Spin the axe back in place and ready for the next round.
But next up we have the Warden. So the Warden is going to attack Sean twice. That is a 30.
Yep.
And a 19.
Yep.
So
As it goes towards him, Celeste yells out, "I hope you burn!" And just subtract a d8 from whatever damage you roll.
right.
So that is a 7. So from one of the damage rolls.
So that is 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, from both attacks total?
It was -8 on both, right?
It's just minus 7.
on one.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Minus how much did you say?
7 on 1, right? I think. Yeah.
11.
11?
11 points of bludgeoning damage for the first 2 attacks. Another shield flies towards Ingwe. That is a 19 to hit. 17 points of bludgeoning damage to Ingwe. And one flies towards Celeste. That is 16 to hit. That's a 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
We're sure dead. Celeste just straight up died.
She was just never born. That's how hard I hit her.
Flying.
Smashing pumpkins over here.
Rides the shield.
Is she still up?
Yes.
And Ingwe is still fine, even though he's smiling like he's need to go to the bathroom. Realizing he suddenly wasn't invisible.
Not invisible and not a lot of health for Ingwe.
You can still transform again, can't you? Or is you done? Okay.
So next up, we have Trekkie.
Okay, well, Drake's gonna stand up. And then Drake is going to raise his shield with the symbol of Ram. He's gonna take a big breath and he's going to run, jump, and try and smack him with his blade.
Go for it. You have advantage because of Sean.
Okay. Advantage rolls, here we go. 18 plus 5, 23.
Hits.
1d6 plus 2 because it's not that great. Oh, it's 8 damage!
8 damage.
8 bludgeoning.
It's looking pretty rough.
Then, with my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on probably Celeste. Because Celeste's pretty low.
I think everyone is at this point.
And that'll be 6 health for Celeste. As he just says, I'm not the only one that needs to get up.
It's just like blood, spray. Just covering arterial spray herself. Yeah. That you?
Yep, that's my turn.
Celeste, you are up. At least for now.
How much is it? Sorry, 6.
Yeah.
Right. So, she's looking towards this thing, and she kind of feels this like warmth rush over her as Drake speaks to her. She'll look back towards him and go, "You can do this, Drake. We're here for you." And then she's going to reach into her pocket and she's going to pull out like a shard of glass, and she's going to toss it towards the construct, and as it hits, it explodes into a cloud of kind of like spinning silver shards of glass, and she will cast Cloud of Daggers, kind of where it's like,
behind him.
it's in front of where he is.
What is the range of it?
60
Right.
feet.
Well, how much does it hit?
It's only 5 foot. It's a 5 foot cube.
Okay, cool. That's somewhere. Yep.
Yep.
So is that a deck save or is that just damage?
Nope, it's just damage. But it'll happen on his turn.
Right.
And then as a bonus action, she will look towards Ingwe. Go, Ingwe, is he up or is he down?
He's up, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't say he went down at least, so.
And she'll look towards Ingwe and go, Ingwe, you're right. And she will bonus action Healing Word him at 2nd level, which is all out of 10th level spell slots.
I feel like this is one of those choo-choo trains. Like,
No, Celeste is like, stop healing me!
everyone's just healing each other.
Other people, I have healing spells. So it's a 4 on one and a 2 on the other, which is a 6 plus 4, which is 10.
Oh, I'm feeling really good now. That's like over half.
Very well.
And that's it. I'm done.
Right. Ingwe.
Man, it was lucky we had that leadership of Trekkie. That was really good. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, and now that Celeste has healed me. Nah, let's do it. Risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to. I need to walk up in a way that I can get a 15-foot. Like I need to walk. I think probably next to John, because it's a wave of force out from me.
You need to go over here, I think.
No,
What is the range?
No. I could get it at the edge.
The problem is that Drake's on one side and Sean's on the other side, so the only way to hit him is to go behind him.
I'm gonna have to I think if I stand in between the two of them, and then just make it go Like
Right.
if you're standing next to me, then it won't hit me.
You have to be right in its up in its grill then.
Yeah. Let's
Yep.
do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. I'm going to, as you feel me going past Drekkic. Oh yes. You get 10 points of healing, and then it needs to make a con save of 15.
Ingray, you the bomb. The bomb, Ingray.
17.
It takes half of 13, 16, 8 points of thunder damage.
Right. One of its shields fall off and just rests on the ground. You can start seeing that. You can start to see that it's starting to come undone.
Starting. Got it. Cool.
I mean, it started with the first hit technically. So. Right. That's you, Ingrid.
That's me.
Next up, we have Sean.
Yep. I'm gonna try and like run up one or two purely for flavor, like one step up its back and try to bring down big old axe swing.
Go for it.
Do I have advantage because Drakkic's
Yes.
flanked? Awesome. Oh, natural 20.
Hits.
Yeah. All right, so that is that's max damage.
2.
16, 18, 18 slashing damage.
And it's a crit.
20.
The lightning effect goes off.
True.
Not as much. 6 lightning damage this time around.
So 6 plus how much did you say, sorry?
18. So total of 24 damage. 18 slashing, 6 lightning.
Right.
And I'm going to go for attack number 2.
As you attack with that, 2 of the shields fall off.
I just got a natural 19, which is another crit for me.
There you go. The machine.
Here. Go, John!
It's happening. It's finally happening. All these fucking misses.
It's finally happening.
That's another 8. That's disgusting. That's another 18 slashing.
Mhm.
And 10 lightning.
So that's 28.
Slam
So
down on the
that's
first one, stand up and do a backward swing, trying to like break this thing's spine or whatever makes it up.
So another 2 shields fall off. So 5 shields have fallen off so far.
How many?
Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, there's 8 shields in total.
Okay.
You hear the crowd. "Rah!"
When Jean hits, he hits fucking hard, boys.
When he hits.
Right.
Throughout a fight, it balances out to like okay. I'm gonna turn to Drekkic and just go like, "It's up to you." Sort of drop to one knee, slowly pull myself back up to my feet, just fucking drenched in blood, I imagine.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Next up is the Wardenstone.
Yep.
And the Warden can see that it's in trouble, but it collapses both of its wings on all three of you. So I need all three of you.
Before it does anything, it takes
13?
13 points of slashing damage.
13 points.
And dies.
Another shield falls off. But I need all three of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no, I'm not a wolf.
I see a shield coming at my head any second.
I'm going to use my inspiration because I rolled a 14 and I think I need a 15.
I rolled a 16.
D8 inspiration. 20.
Right. And Sean, what did you get?
11.
Everyone except for Sean passes. Sean takes 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Everyone else takes 6.
And John is unconscious again.
Oh.
I had a whopping 3 hit points.
I don't have
And-
any spell slots left. Stop dying.
And now it's gonna attack Ingwe with 2 attacks. One is a 14,
Hits. Yeah.
and the other one's a lot more than that.
Probably doesn't matter. It's probably a death
That one hits.
save.
The
The
other
other
one's way more.
14 points of bludgeoning damage to Ingwe.
Is that in 2 different attacks?
Yes.
Yeah. So the second. Oh, what's the first attack?
The first attack was the 14, the other one was way higher.
No, I mean like the damage matters because I'm gonna die on the first attack, and then death save because you'll smash me.
Well, I mean, I'll just say 1 death save then, if that's the case. The first one was
Was it
7
more than
points.
half? Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. So you're unconscious with 1 failed death save, and the last attack is gonna go on Trekkie.
Bring it, dragon.
Natural 20.
Shit. I want to block something.
22 points of bludgeoning damage.
I only have 16.
Is Celeste the only one up? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
Fuck! Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
Right. So I'm just gonna write everyone's death saves on here, just as a joke. I mean, not a joke, but
I think he's only got like 10 hit points less. Celeste, you'll be fine.
He's only got little legs. This
I
was.
love the idea that Celeste was like, "No, you guys got it. It's up to you." All of the fight starts. It's like, well, I guess I'm forced into this. Yeah, I think
As
that's
as I get hit and I go spiraling, I look up at Celeste just before losing consciousness and go, "You got this."
And now it's Drekkig's turn, so I'll roll a death save.
Thanks, because I go after the dragon. It's really great.
Right.
It's better than going before and drawing all of its attention with your attacks.
Celeste, you're up.
Celeste, please. Celeste, bye.
Well, you've got your daggers when it gets its turn. Smack it with something. You'll be fine.
Fuck. No, because she doesn't have any.
She has 2 shields left, or he has 2 shields left.
There's no way she'd be able to do that much in a. Sorry.
Who to heal?
Well, I know who she's healing. It's just a matter of that's a bonus action. So what can she do as an action that's going to make an actual? Just try to distract him from hitting anyone else until it gets around to people's turns. Sorry, I'm stressed.
I wonder why. Finally, I found a good challenge for you.
It only took you 18 natural 20s.
That's crazy though. Like, I have a creature with really high stats, and I just rolled fucking high. Like, I have 5 natural 20s. This guy, crazy.
Where?
All going to heaven.
She can't. Because where everyone is, all their stuff is area of effect. So it's like where everyone is. It's okay. Fuck it. She's just gonna take out her bow and just take do it, and then she's gonna pull back the string, let loose, and then as she does, she's going to look towards Drekkig as he like falls to the ground, and it's kind of like just as he's like hitting the ground, she's just gonna yell out, "I trusted you.
But I go after the
We
dragon.
brought you here because we trusted you." And she will bonus action healing word him.
Right. You hear all the shield bashing becomes louder as you aim your bow. Roar! Roar! Let's go!
Watch me roll a fucking like 1 or something now. I'm like, okay. okay. That's okay. Numbers. 24 to hit.
Hits.
How much did I get?
That's max on the dice. Wait, let me just double check I rolled the right one. Is it a D8 for a longbow? Yes, it is. So that's 11 points of piercing damage. I haven't
11?
rolled it yet. Sorry.
Oh,
One more shield falls off.
2, 3.
And you can see the left side of the wing is collapsed. But it's still barely moving. And it's kind of lifting its hand up towards Sean.
She just. I don't have anything else. That's it. Action, bonus action.
What?
She's going to sprint towards Jean. Using
Okay.
full movement to try and get as close to him as possible.
You can get next to him there. You can get in touching range.
And she'll just like turn and like look up at it. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Next up, Ingwe. You're unconscious too. So I'm going to roll for you as well.
get a neck on that one. Jeez.
And next up, we have Sean. You're still unconscious as far as I know.
Make that roll.
It's another death save. Now it's its turn.
Wait.
Daggers!
Yeah,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 2 4s in a row. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points of slashing damage.
How do you want to do this? I had 2 hit points left. D&D.
yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected. As she was running over to Jean, she just kind of like walks over towards him and she like lifts up her hands as the daggers start spinning faster and faster and faster, and they just kind of like start like turning him into wood chips before they disappear and falls down to the ground.
What?
Oh my god, guys, my hand's like fucking shaking.
As you manage to slay this creature, the shield bashing stops, and an army of these skeletons walk in and starts lifting up Sean and Ingwe and Trekkie, holding them above their heads. And as they place them on the ground again, you are all fully healed.
Oh, damn.
Everyone, including Celeste?
Including Celeste. But she can stand on her own, so.
God damn.
Hey, you did it! Celeste gets a win!
That was awesome. That was dope as hell.
So for now, at least, the combat is over. And you notice 2 things. First thing is that there is an elderly man who doesn't seem to be a skeleton, who seems to enter this area. He just sits down, and as he sits down, the bones underneath makes a throne around him. He's just wearing tattered old robes, long white beard, long white hair. He just sits there, and he puts his hand out, and bones just form a staff next to him. And as he does, he just sits there for a little bit, just watching you with a smile on his face. You also hear one more. Well done. Sounds like it's coming from the sky. Congratulations, everyone. You have done what so many others before you could not. Impressive. Impressive. Take your prize. Take your friends. And go change the world.
Just change my underwear first.
Without saying anything to the group yet, John's just gonna have a look around to see if his wife's still about, or have like the undead all dissipated back to the ground.
They're still there for now. They're still forming a semicircle. It's not really a solid circle anymore. Some of them have broken away, and it seems like these undead are mimicking chit-chatting about the fight, almost like they're puppets, just kind of masquerading as real people, in a sense. Yep. Your wife, however, and the other ghosts, they seem to be conscious. And she's still there.
They're still... Okay.
Yes.
Sean's gonna ignore whatever's going on, and he's just gonna wander towards her. Probably stumble a couple times, but yeah.
She's definitely standing there, awaiting you.
He's just gonna stand
still in her warrior outfit, but yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna stand there and stare at her, smiling, while whatever else goes on. He just wants whatever the hell that was to be done with it for now, and he just wants to focus on his wife for a moment.
Right.
He's gonna get up, check everyone's okay, and seeing everyone moving, which is a good sign, he's just gonna turn to the old man and go, Are you Ron?
No, I'm not that fool. Don't worry about me. I'm here as a judge. I am no one and I am everyone.
Right. And his eyes dart over to where the sword is, and then darts back at the old man to see if there's any sort of acknowledgement.
Go for it, my friend. You've earned it.
And I'm just gonna look over at the group, and I think we collectively earned this. And
only one can wield it at a time. For now, I think it's your calling.
So he looks over at Celeste for a second and just nods and says, "Thank you."
Celeste has a mouthful of like
Jeez.
water, and she's just like swishing it and like spitting out like bloody water, like sways him forward.
And then I'll go and pick up the sword for Trekkie.
It now slides out with no problem. And as you do, it starts glowing. And it glows almost like it was daylight coming from this sword itself. And as you hold it there, you hear and lightning strikes the sword as you hold it. And it's almost like you're on this hill again during daytime. And then it dies out again, and it's almost like the world is darker than it was before, but it's only because your eyes are having a hard time adjusting now. But you are now holding the Sword of the Chosen. And as you look down on your arm, where the symbol of Ran is, there's now a circle around it, with every single of the other gods' symbol. And that's where we'll take a break then.
I went from banished to chosen of the gods.
Take that, Dad.
I got a new daddy now.
All right.
Oh my god.
Let's go for a short break, and then we can continue from there with what everyone wants to do.
Hell yeah.
Take a real break too. I think everyone needs a short rest after this episode. That was fun.
Full-blown recovery.
I set the hit points on this creature before I started rolling natural 20s, obviously.
That was a crazy fight.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty up and down.
Good. That was so fun.
Right. Let's jump to a break, and then we can have a chat about it afterwards.
Sweet, sweet.
See you in a bit. Are you looking for a more exotic or sophisticated choice in dice? You should check out Level Up Dice, the company of experts in specialty dice, made from materials like semi-precious stones, aluminium, and even have options for wood and bone dice. The designs are so beautiful it's hard not to find something which fits your next character. Level Up is an Australian-owned company and also run the Level Up TTV Twitch channel focusing on broadcasting tabletop role-playing games. Follow a link below when purchasing from Level Up Dice. It will greatly help support our channel and also help an Australian local retailer. Level Up Dice, the sophisticated choice. Monsters and Mayhem is sponsored by Miniporium.net, a huge selection of highly detailed miniatures for any tabletop role-playing game. Check out the beautiful miniatures, and if you use the code MAYHEM, all capital letters, at checkout, then you receive a 30% discount. In the beginning there was nothing. From the nothing sprung forth a something. The something was not a who or it. The something simply was. The something began roaming the nothingness and found itself alone. In solitude the something became the somethings. Multiple somethings sprung forth of the something, each with its own voice and presence. The somethings, as great as divine as they were, all needed something to measure their own greatness by. They created the first earth, and by doing so, became gods. The first earth was not perfect. In fact, it had many flaws. Because it was made as a circle, most things placed upon it would fall off the sides into the nothingness. The gods grew furious about the earth, and they cut it in half to make it flat. The excess was simply pushed aside and forgotten, at least for a while. The second earth was perfect, flat and vast. Each god began to populate it with creations and land masses of their dreams. Each god creating beings of their very own. Soon the world was full of inhabitants, and they all began to watch over their creations with anticipation. However, many creations did not turn out the way the gods had hoped for, and a lot of animosity was born over the first few years. The creations would go to war with each other and even themselves. Some of these wars even spilled into the realm of the gods, where the gods themselves would command their creations to destroy another god's creation. The gods were eager to prove themselves better than another, and a long bloody war was fought throughout the first era of the first 3,000 years. A massive war for survival was fueled by the gods themselves as the world began to burn. They started to see their own mistakes. The gods made many sacrifices and separated some races from others by magic or by using the elements of nature. They tried to stop their creation, and slowly a peace of sorts came to be. And such a second era came to be with peace and kindness as its goal. Not every god nor every creature followed the peaceful ways, and some even broke away from their gods after such events. But for now the god wars were over, having successfully separated their creation to an extent, minimizing the overall doomsday and averting full chaos. For almost another 3,000 years the races had been completely separated. the gods had made a plan. The God Gate, located now in the Kingdom of Quill and where the borders of Okorlan is, had been inscribed with one of the family's life forces, the Karameshi. Once a descendant of that family were to attempt to open the God Gate, all races would once again have free reign. At the end of the 3,000 years, an unknown member of the Karameshi touched the God Gate, unlocking the prophecy. The mountain chains and oceans dividing the rages all came down all over the realm. Great panic and rejoice at the same time, as creatures that had once only heard fairy tales of each other now once again stood face to face with one another. The gods had hoped that the last 6,000 years would have been enough for everyone to learn to coexist. But from the start, the tension already started building again. Whatever fragile piece was on the table seemed to crumble and regather from time to time. But the time of the wars was surely not over. There was now other entities who spread darkness across the world. Maybe the world had learned its lesson, or maybe it was doomed to repeat it. Welcome to the world of Epidos, where adventures are born, heroes are forged, and villains are always up to mischief. The Kingdom of Quill lies in the middle of it all, the heart of human civilization, at least if you ask them. To the north lies the cold Shadanon, where Northling constantly test the borders to the kingdom with raids and invasions. To the south lies the desert lands of Zahani, ruled by self-proclaimed princes and empresses. The tension is at an all-high after a failed invasion into the kingdom years ago still sends trouble both ways. To the southeast lies the Dragon Empire, a proud people ruled by the Dragon Emperor, who according to legend are a descendant from a real dragon. The empire has been locked in a cold war with the kingdom for generations, blocking all travel from entering the nation. But for the common folk, it's Monday. The birds are flying low and it looks like it may rain.
Jean Ordenfall spent his childhood on his family's farm, just south of the Duvet Forest. His parents, Durden and Macy, raised him well, teaching him what he needed to know to one day take over. Financially, they did quite well for themselves, carting their crops to nearby towns and cities for sale, although the frigid weather that often surrounded their home did not make it an easy life. As is the case with most youngins living the farm life, Jean eventually sought to see what else the world had to offer, and so he left in search of what opportunities the neighboring city had for him. It wasn't long before he realized the city life was not his to live. The boy who left, though, had become a man, and the man had met a woman, a blacksmith's daughter by the name of Cerithia. They fell for each other quick, and before they knew it, their love blossomed into a marriage and a son. The son they named Durlin, after Jean's father. Jean eventually returned home to his parents' farm with his family, where they made a life for themselves, a new life for his wife and son, but one all too familiar to Jean. They were happy. That is, until the day vile creatures from beyond the veil made their way into their home. After being driven from his homeland by the insatiable undead that now plague it, Jean seeks out those brave enough to aid him in cleansing his land of the foul fate that befell him and his family, and exacting the vengeance he so eagerly thirsts for.
As a child, Celeste Highcrest would never have dreamed of leaving the sheltered life of luxury she had become accustomed to. Born to two noble parents in a land far beyond the Vale, Celeste's childhood had been fraught with expectation. Her father, High Archivist Saran Highcrest, had set high standards for his two children, and the elder of those two elves, Celeste's sister Cressida, had surpassed all of them. Cressida had found her talents at an early age, her nose buried in books, and magic coming to her as easy as breathing. Celeste, however, had struggled in the shadow of her sister's success for as long as she could remember, never quite meeting the expectations of her father, and always the object of his disappointed glances. When the two elves came of age, They sat the entrance exam to join their father at the sanctum, to become mentored under his tutelage and scribe ancient texts in the archives. Cressida, to no one's surprise, had passed the exam with overwhelming success. Celeste, on the other hand, held true to her long-standing tradition of always being second best. It was rare that one should ever choose to leave their homeland, but never being able to escape the constant overshadowing from her sister, Celeste had decided it was finally time to break free of this tradition. For here, she would always be Cressida's sister, never her own person. But if she were to leave, perhaps she could finally forge her own path. She found her way to the dimension door, stepping through for the first time and finding herself in a land strangely familiar, yet unlike anything she had ever experienced. She boarded the first ship she came across, bound for the kingdom of Quell, and spent years travelling these oceans between continents, desperate to find something worthy enough to bring home as tribute to her family. Until one day, the news found her. The door that she had stepped through to enter this plane had vanished, along with every other door that could lead her home. Now stuck, seemingly an entire universe between her and her homeland, Celeste is searching for answers, and some miracle that could lead her home again.
A young half-elf, Tam Corthan grew up working the land with his father and learning herblore and healing from his elven mother. After a horrible childhood accident, he swore he would avoid violence, unless he had no other choice. When the war came, like every Corthan for generations before him, Tam enlisted to fight for his king. During the bloody battle for King's Helm, Tam's selfless efforts to heal his friends caught the eye of the celestial Aethia, and she became his patron, giving him the gift of celestial healing. His courage in battle did not prevent him from drawing the ire of his superiors. His compassion was blind, and he would heal all in need, even the enemy. After the end of the war, Tam worked as a healer in the villages outside Krakvoln, hoping to save enough money to gain entry to the Healers Guild. After a series of unfortunate events, Tam finds himself in debt to a very wealthy and very criminal cartel boss. Pinned between his compassion and his new master, Tam tries to make the best of his situation, dreaming of a day where he can live his life in freedom.
Ingwe grew up in an exclusive, reclusive community of druids. His elders, ancient and wise, one of the greatest, his mother, was a great storyteller, and he grew up sharing their stories. While the community has very strict rules and customs and routines, each member is encouraged once in a lifetime to travel out into the world and experience the trials and tribulations, bring back their challenges to share and to tell the story of the world.
Again. Oh no. So, we have what happened to Trekkie, that he picked up the sword and all that stuff happened. We know that Sean is going to talk to his wife. What is Ingwe doing?
I think Ingwe is going to investigate the bones.
Okay. Is anything specific you're looking for?
Gonna poke around, and I actually think I might do detect magic.
Right. Currently, all the creatures, the skeletons walking around and such, are still there, so they obviously give you a necrotic ping.
Yeah.
And the person sitting on the throne, the whole thing's magical, of course, as well. Strong divination coming from him.
Yeah.
The bones themselves on the ground is not magical. It seems to have been almost picked clean.
Yeah.
it almost looks like there's been grave robbers, and all the shields and swords that people were banging with, they aren't really there now. It's more like a visual effect that was added to them, as far as you can gather. And of course, the sword is magical. But at the moment, that's kind of what you can see. You can see the spirits; those ghosts are still kind of. Some of them are like leaving a little bit, and some of them are floating away. See that there's one of them close to where Sean is that's staying at the moment. You've seen that one before.
And no one that I recognize.
You recognize Sean's wife because you've seen her before. But other than that, there's nothing of magical nature in the sense of the like that you could like pick up or anything like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up some stuff, some random bones.
Right.
If that sets off a like random alarm bell because I'm stealing bones, then
No.
so be it. But otherwise, I'm just gonna continue to collect
No.
things that I can make things out of.
It just respawns the thing. No. Nah, there's nothing happening.
So if there's a rusty daggers and knuckle bones and
There's like broken weapons and rusted weapons and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like some of these are like almost hundreds of years old. Yeah. Depends on this quality. Celeste, what about you?
Celeste is collapsed on her back with her hands over her head, just like up at the sky, just lay there, or until anyone kind of does anything. She's sort of having a little bit of an existential crisis, and doesn't know why she's here or what she's doing, or so she's just laying there on her back, face towards the sky, hands covering her eyes.
And he's still just sitting there smiling at you with a crooked smile.
Is he a skeleton?
No, he's human. Like, he looks human. He looks like an old man with a long white beard and long white hair. Sean, what do you do?
I just walk over to my wife and I just stare at her and sort of put my hands out, sort of gesturing to grab her hands type thing.
She grabs your hands and you can feel her. Cold, but you can feel her.
So give her hand a little bit of a squeeze, pull her in for a hug, and just hold her for like a solid minute or so. And it's going to be, for the most part, like he's embracing his wife and all that, but there's a little bit where he sort of opens his eyes and he's just watching all the other undead around. His nature just, not very trusting of them. And he's going to pull her back. I told you I had a plan to get help. And he's going to sort of unbuckle his chest plate and show her the tattoo. I'm never really a religious type, but seems prayer can help sometimes. And remember this old thing?
I do.
Looks like Stormlord's put a couple tweaks on your design, so
I think he's put a few tweaks on your design.
I don't know how this works, but do you want to meet people that have been helping me for all this?
Sure. I don't have much time, but it's been strenuous for me as well. But of course, I'd love to meet all of them, Ingwe and Trekkie and Celeste.
If it's going to drain too much from you, we can leave it till another time.
It just means that I have to go back to where I was for a bit.
Friends, have someone I'd like you to meet.
Celeste will slowly sit up and kind of like look over towards Jean. Slowly get to her feet.
Just in awe, but he looked up when John calls.
This here is my wife.
Can you see this? At the moment, she looks like a shield maiden, a Viking shield maiden with braided hair and like red paint across. But you can also see that there's some very feminine features. She smiles slightly, and you kind of recognize her. I think both Celeste and Ingwe saw her when you were fighting death. She looks different now because obviously she's in different clothes and stuff, but she's in a spiritual, not so much corporeal sense, but she's physically there in a sense, but not fully. You can like see through her skin and stuff like that. She looks like a ghost.
I think she knows your names. But her name is Cerithia. Cerithia. These are my friends.
How are you here? Where are you?
I'm kind of been locked to this plane. I never went to the next place. Some things happened to me, and I'm kind of stuck here, halfway on one side, halfway on the other. Not quite sure what that means, but the guy who did that to me was the guy you were fighting at the court.
Death.
As he would call himself, yes.
Have you been bound?
They did something, and my soul isn't free to leave. It's bound here. I don't really know where I go when I'm not here. Just somehow regain my strength, and I appear when I can and want to. Been keeping an eye on you and on Sean for a while. It's just been taking its toll to learn how to do this by myself. It's normally I like to bake. Apple pies is my favorite, but
You always made a mean one.
not quite sure I can do one now. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't expect it of you. I know this may sound odd as supposed to be looking after him, but have you been keeping an eye on Derlin as well?
Of course, he's doing good. He's taking after his father more than his mother at the moment, but I think that's a good thing.
Some might argue otherwise.
Well, you're the one who fell into my religion.
I guess so. I'm glad he is doing all right, and I'm glad you're here. Just the sight of you alone gives me strength.
I'm glad I helped. That was a tough fight. Thank you all for keeping him alive for me.
Don't mention it. Yes?
Can we help you?
I don't even know what happened to me.
That figure that we fought at the court, is he like you, or is he more like us?
He's more like them. And she points to the other skeletons that walks around. They're starting to dig little holes and start to lay themselves in them, start covering themselves in bones, and one by one they all kind of disappear. I don't know who he is. I just know that I feel drawn to his presence, sometimes even stronger than Sean's, and I feel like that means he did something to me. But I have never seen him before while I was alive.
Do you know where he is now?
Somewhere underground. I'm not quite sure where that is. I don't know. I just get sucked out of existence here and I appear somewhere else. It's hard to keep track.
It's all right. we'll find him. we'll set things right.
Thank you. Just don't get killed.
I try not to.
Well, just try a little harder, old man.
No, I know.
I think it's time I leave, unfortunately. You can see that her bottom part is starting to just kind of not wither away, but just kind of become completely see-through slowly.
We'll get things sorted for you, I promise. And we'll make things right, whatever that is. We'll make it right.
I always were such a talker. She pulls you in for a kiss. And she keeps holding it until she is no more.
Well, what's our next step?
Just gonna blink a couple times and just go. I see where you get your Viking side from now.
It's the wife and her family.
He's gonna turn to the old man that's sitting on the throne of bones. So, who exactly are you?
I am not important to you.
What does this mean? He shows the new tattoo.
Well, it means that even in this day of age, finally the gods have all found one they find worthy. Just don't fuck it up. Oh well. Excuse me, I'll get back to my boat. And he starts walking off. She disappears into nothingness.
He's a really lovely man. I hope we meet him again soon.
I've never heard of being marked by old.
You haven't? Oh, wow. All the gods and the tattoo that can kill
All the gods, including the one that should not be alive. Old. Oh boy.
Wonder where gods go when they
collapses to his knees.
Are we ever going to have a normal week?
Well, last week.
This was a normal week.
Ever since I met you guys, it's been nothing but tattoos daily.
2 days.
Are you guys like a traveling tattoo parlor or something?
You should see under my armor. It's like basically everything you can't see is tattoos. I'm kidding. I can't lie. Damn it.
Yeah, you can't lie.
I just couldn't help but admit it immediately. It was just something.
Well, at least for now, you're alone on the mountaintop. Or hilltop.
Can I check what's so special about this sword?
How do you want to do that?
I'm going to look at it for a sec, and then I'm just going to look at like something I can hit, whether that's a piece of the ship or anything, and just swing at it.
Make an attack roll.
2.
It doesn't hit.
Celeste just like jumps out of the way as Drekkick just starts swinging this sword.
It's a bit harder to handle than my mace. Right. Tries again.
Make it on.
I rolled a 9. So
With your modifier, you're proficient with longswords.
I'm proficient with martial weapons.
Yeah, so longswords are martial weapon. Yeah, so that would probably hit because it's just a piece of junk. Yeah. Roll 1d10 damage plus 1d6 thunder damage.
16, so a 10 plus the 6 thunder damage.
Thunderbolt and lightning. Very, very frightening.
And I look at my shield to see if the symbol sort of lights up as I swing the sword.
It doesn't do that though, no.
Okay. This is better than my mace, guys. Okay.
Celeste just like takes a step back from the slightly smoking like piece of wood that Drekkick hit. Just like I feel as though we need to take a moment to decompress. Decide on what we're to do, what we've done.
Yep.
John, are you all right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm starting to deal with it better. I haven't been totally honest with you all prior, but I've seen her a few times since, often at night. And she seems to be getting stronger. She's able to hold that form a little bit longer each time. Yeah, no, I think I'm alright for now.
Well, for someone whose wife is supposedly dead, you sure did lay one on her, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to like react to that, but it just, I don't know, it felt right.
Gives a whole new meaning till death do us part.
Till death and then some more do we part?
Right, this is getting into an awkward conversation about my dead wife.
Sorry.
Nope, no, I understand. Yeah. I will take you up on that offer as well, Celeste, if we can contact my boy tonight. But for now, tomorrow, maybe, all right. But for now, I think we need to, figure out what our next step is.
Should we find out? Should we camp here or maybe go away a bit?
Well, maybe we should go back to where we stored the horses.
I don't much like the idea of camping amidst a graveyard.
We got a cart, right?
Yeah, down the hill.
You do, yeah.
With the canopy. Important note.
Let's go check if
upgrade.
yeah. Let's go check if Jerry and Janina are alright.
I have to wonder, if anyone is in the vicinity of this mountain. It looked pretty intense from the top, not from the bottom, looking towards the top. All the lightning and the thunder and...
It was a pretty bright light throughout the sword.
I feel like if it's a thing that happens every now and then with people around here, they probably assume us dead.
Yup.
It's true. I swear.
Do you want me to scout around, Miss Celeste, see if anyone's watching?
No, I'm not too worried about that. It's just more as though we would have given quite a show.
Ingwe, are you? You're good with magic, aren't you? With magical items and things.
I kind of get it. If you want to know about them, I let Miss Celeste look. She's like more bookish and stuff.
Oh. Are you good with magical items, Celeste?
Well, it depends entirely on the context.
Well, can you figure out what this sword does?
Potentially. I need some time alone with it. You saw me do something similar when we had a look at Jean's axe.
That's true. Could you possibly do the same to this? Maybe when we get back to camp.
Yes, when we get back to camp, I can. I need some time to get my head straight. I feel very... You're all dead. You're lying there, bleeding out on the ground. Then all of a sudden everything I need some time to... And then John's dead wife is there, and then you've got the sword, and then this man comes out, and he's got bones growing out of the ground. And it's a lot for any afternoon.
I think that was the man from the ferry.
From the ferry.
Yeah, remember he gave us a trip. He gave us a ride on the ferry.
Oh, the ferry.
Yeah.
He did say he was heading back to a boat.
Yeah, same. Did he look the same as the
Nope.
ferryman?
But he had the same laugh.
It was the laugh, yes, that's what. You may recognise that jolly old sound. Jovial chap.
It's like the Santa Claus of death. Ho, ho.
Isn't that Krampus, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
My Scrooge!
Right, well, I need the way back down the hilltop. Find the way to the horses and I should get cleaned up. Covered in blood. Everyone's covered in blood. I can taste it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I have a bottle of 100% alcohol if anyone needs to rinse their mouth out.
I'm just gonna... Wait, it's not snow, it's bones. Yep, okay, I'll take a little bit of that. I was gonna... Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's like the cinnamon salad.
Snowball.
Celeste will dig through her satchel and pull out it's probably 3/4 full at this point, the bottle of disgusting spirits that she bought, the cheapest, dirtiest stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
It smells like petrol fumes. And pass it around to anyone that wants to take a swig and disinfect.
Tiny bit on his hands.
At least it's something.
As you pull out the bottle of your drink, the flyer that you picked up earlier also falls out on the ground.
The coffins.
No, the flyer you took from the town crier.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Did I? I don't think I actually read it, did I? I think I just took it.
Just took it?
Did I read it? I can't remember.
Nope, you did not.
Right. Oh, yeah, I've got here, news flyer. That's the only note I had.
Right.
News flyer. Right, so as we're walking, she kind of pass out the bottle. And she'll kind of tuck it and fold it into a square. And then just wait until she gets back down to the... She's not going to read and walk at the same time. She's not that talented.
What?
Trip and fall, knowing Tom will make me roll, and then I'll fall off the side of a hill, and I'll be gone.
4 out of 4. So you're not reading it at the moment, that's what you're saying, right?
Just when we get back to camp, I
Mm.
will.
Yeah, that's fine.
Down and I think that's the last thing on my mind right now.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's fine. But eventually you make it all the way back to camp. And
Well, it's not really camp, it's just where the horses are tied to a tree.
yeah, I mean you have your what's it called? Your cart there.
Ingwe will set up the tent.
Right.
And then maybe go to sleep.
Well, before you head to bed anyway, why don't we figure out what's our next move? What's our next plan? That way, as soon as we get up, we can get straight to it.
It's around 2 in the afternoon.
Oh.
Because you almost just left in the morning after dealing with what's his name? Vartex.
Man, that's 62 second battle.
Yeah.
Should we? I know there's a bit of a town at the base of this hill. Should we head there? We saw it as we were coming up.
No, I think we should. Oh, I don't know. I set up this tent now. Maybe before we go to the town, we should figure out. We should talk about whether, because I know, Mr. Jacket, we came and got your sword.
Yes.
We also had the God Hammer. That was the thing that we talked about doing. And because you've got the same tattoo as us, we've previously been to this place that needed 4 of us to open. So we could do that and find a book. Was there anything else on the things?
We have
Celeste?
to find the obelisk thing for the
Or to
Fey
smash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash them.
So I think. I mean.
Do I know where 2 of those are, Tom? Or just
One.
the one? So the
Just
one.
one.
So the one I had previous knowledge of, is that the same one as this one?
You only had knowledge of one.
Did I?
Yeah, you were only told where one was by Vartex.
What about the other one?
There was another person who said he might have found something, but you never had that conversation with him.
He sent me a drawing of it, but I don't know the location.
Yeah, he didn't know where it was either,
Okay, yeah.
but he was gonna try to look into stuff.
Oh, the map guy.
I need to talk to that guy.
It was like in your intro episode.
I need to talk to that guy. Hey,
Forever ago.
you remember me? It's been 2 weeks.
It's probably been a little bit more than that now, with all the long rests that you take every time you get your ass kicked.
We needed to. Sorry, my brain. We needed to go. We went here, then we're going up somewhere.
Yeah,
Right,
we're going to go back past the town, pick up what's her face,
Mana.
Mana, and then keep going up to get to somewhere.
Oh, to get the sky ships.
Is that
You
one
can
of
go to
those
the Ivory
options?
Clasp where you could get the sky ships from. That was what you talked about. But that depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't. Mr. Jacket, you've said that we should go and find the obelisk, but maybe.
I wouldn't know where to start.
I kind of feel like we should just find the God Hammer, and then see if we get clues along the way for the obelisk. Because if we just go and find the obelisk, then we've got to go back and find the God Hammer anyway to go and find the obelisk again.
Because we need the God Hammer to smash the obelisk.
Well, maybe your
someone
sword
who
can
help
smash
with
it.
that.
Oh, the God Hammer?
No, the obelisks.
Oh, yeah.
That has a bit of work involved.
Is there any more clues in that book?
I feel as though I've read this upside down and back to front 50 times, but I think I've ordained all there is to know.
Is there any value in going back to
what's her name?
Valentina.
Valentina's place, and like looking in all of that information.
Right. That reminds me. Remember I told y'all about the battle plans she had laid out?
Yeah.
We got to keep that in the back of our heads, because if something comes of that, that was targeting old and noble houses in the kingdom, from memory. So we could be potentially seeing the beginnings of a war if something triggers that.
Dear, must we be responsible for everything? I don't know if we'd be welcome back there without Valentina. I mean, do they even know of her demise? I mean,
Well, that's what I was thinking. That no one actually knows she's dead. So
My worry is that finding out is what the trigger is.
but
If she put some plans in place that if she was ever to die, send forth the armies, right?
do you reckon, Miss Celeste, you could pretend to be Valentina?
I think so. I could definitely give a go at it, but my concern is that what if they do know, and then here we are impersonating her, trying to sneak in, and then all of a sudden it's you killed her.
Well, we could figure that out beforehand. I mean, yeah.
There's also one more thing, not to throw more wood on the fire. Still got this thing. As I'm gonna carefully pull it out, the Soul Reaver dagger, wrapped in the cloth, and sort of reveal it out.
What is that?
That could be. Is that where your wife is?
I don't know.
That could be. Something like that.
I mean, we took it from the room where Death, as he claims to be, was. And, I mean, you were able to identify that these green orbs are souls, right?
Correct.
What if it is? What if she's only been able to follow us because I've had this on me?
Perhaps now that I've been formally introduced to her and have a sense of her presence, I could have a look at it tonight and see if I can ascertain any sort of information about what actually resides within it.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be... Yeah.
Mr. John?
Yep.
Remember that night when I thought I think it was like the second day that I met you, and I thought we were being poisoned, and you were real weird.
You gotta be more specific.
Was that because your was that because your wife came to visit you?
I'm genuinely not sure the moment you're speaking of in particular.
Well, first it was the wolves. They told me to go away, and then we killed the spider lady, and then we went back to the place, and then I woke. Oh no! Before the spider lady, I woke up in the morning, and I was like, "Come, I know what the thing is," and you were like, "Yeah." You were really like, "There's a problem," and then I like made all the alcohol not alcoholic, and then you were like, "No, alcohol's a normal thing," and then I was confused because you were really weirded out by something, and it wasn't the alcohol thing, but you wouldn't tell me what it was. And your room was like, you were like breathing cold air, like you had like acid, like blood drained from your face.
Right. I think so. See, when she first started appearing, it wasn't clear that it was her. All I knew is that something was happening, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was all in my head.
Could have been Vartex.
Possibly.
All Trekkie got from that conversation was, you unalcoholized the alcohol?
Yeah, he can do that.
Stay away from my drinks.
Yeah, the first time anything happened with her that sort of even remotely made me think it was real was that time at Tam's parents' place, where you guys saw the hands lifting me off the bed, and yeah, I wasn't.
But did you see her in that vision, or was it just?
It was just the hands.
And
that's
the first
why
time
I didn't know.
The first time you saw her was after we got the dragon.
The dragon?
The dagger.
The dagger. First time I saw her properly, I believe so, was there. In fact, she was standing on the balcony, and she was who begged, or basically drew me up there to investigate in the first place. That's why I left my post. I saw her. I mean, I want to say lucky we did, because everything we found out after that, but yeah. I mean, you saw her then. She wasn't like she is now. She seems to be getting stronger, able to pull together a physical form of sort. Yeah.
Maybe, Mr. John. Maybe, do you want to put the dagger in that pocket in the tent for a little while?
Yeah, I can do that.
See if she comes. If next time she comes, then we'll know.
I guess, yeah. I'd like Celeste to look at it first. If she's still alright to do so. From there. But yeah, I'll put it in there for now. Before we go to bed tonight, I guess we can take a look. Gotta wrap it back in the cloth.
Maybe wait and leave it. Put it there before we go to bed.
All right.
Like at nighttime. You hold on to it, but at nighttime, when we're sleeping.
Puts it away. All right. Yeah. This may have more to do with me, I think, this dagger, than the rest of us, but thank you.
But if the dagger's where your wife is, we could figure out. We could figure out how to help her with the dagger, rather than. I mean, otherwise, should we go and try and find that guy, and like kill him or something?
I think I'm gonna do that for sure, regardless.
Well, I'll come with you for sure. Take me with you so I can help. Don't try and do it on your own.
Put a hand on Ingwe's shoulder. Thank you. Pulling in frog.
Well, I'm with you too.
All right.
Come on, Celeste.
Let's make it a group hug.
No, we don't need to get sentimental.
It's fine. We're all doing it. It's none of my
Trekkie
nature
just
either.
reaches over and drags Celeste.
Celeste cast Thunderwave. Get on.
Thank you all. I know we've only just met Trekkie, but you've already shown to be very trustworthy. And I mean, the fact that you've locked yourselves into a pact with us, a circumstance you've only been involved with for a day. I mean, that doesn't show commitment. I don't know what does.
Well, all this talk, what plans are for the future. In some circumstance, in some aspect, we all know what we're doing. But in terms of Drekik, we don't know what your plans were before all this. We know that you came to speak to the elders about the tattoo that had appeared on your arm. But as much as we need your help, we cannot force you to do something, and I feel as though we at least owe you an opinion.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really have a direction when you showed up. Because everything I knew was taken from me. I explained it to John before the last fight because, well, I figured it was going to be quite tough, and it was. We almost didn't make it out. But I was banished from my tribe for trying my best to end the war that was happening. And I healed the enemy so they could leave us alone, and instead they betrayed us and ended up pretty much taking half of my homeland. And for that I was banished, and that's about when you met me, so I really didn't have a direction. And since being with you guys, I must be on the right path, because hey, the gods love me now.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Do we now need to go back and see your elder friends again?
Look, if we're going back that way anyway, I'll pop in. But honestly, I think this gives me a status above any of them. So, pretty sure I can just do the heck I want now.
Right. Well, it's good to see you're still humble.
And obviously, by do the heck what I want, I mean whatever the gods want. So, don't be offended, please.
Well, then I suppose, loosely speaking, your goal would be to figure out what they want with you. If you are to be an instrument of their word, then I suppose there's at least one direction that you could walk in.
I'm sure whatever they want with me has something to do with you, because all this started happening when you showed up.
It does seem to happen when we're all together. Things do seem to materialize out of thin air.
I wonder which god's gonna mark you.
Who?
You, Celeste. Or you, Ingwe. I mean, John's got a mark, I've got all the marks. It's only fair that we share the love around.
Oh, I don't think it'll bother me either way. I'm neither here nor there on the gods.
Well, I've got the elders. They're kind of like different.
They're a bit different, I suppose, yep. Yeah.
My kind don't worship the gods. Worship something else. We're like two sides of the same coin.
You don't happen to be referencing the things like Tam was involved with, right?
Primordials, Dawn Titans, that sort of thing.
Mm.
Well, when I say worship, we don't build churches and sing their praises and go out into the world to spread their good name in the same way that one would with the gods. Just more of a mutual respect between them creating us and us existing in their image. It's not necessarily worship, not the way Tam did, but I suppose in the way that Ingwe would respect trees and grass and animals, and it's the balance of life that you respect, but you don't worship it the same way.
Okay.
Same way that you would respect, your mother bringing you into the world. It's like, yes, thank you, appreciate all you've done, we're good. But it's not,
They exist, but it's a bit confusing because, like, that Claro dude, the bad one was the legions.
he he was trying to be a god. So yeah, I think you guys see gods as like
Wait, who's with the legions?
Claro. So and then Ingo will pull out the symbol of Vecna.
It's not the symbol of Vecna, it's a symbol of Claro. The one that you have.
Don't I have a symbol of it is a symbol of Claro, not a symbol
Mhm.
of Vecna.
Yep.
And the book's Claro too.
Yes.
That was part of my vision. When I got this tattoo, the one with all you guys, the horde of the undead was screaming out, "Praise the Legion."
Yeah, so that's the key thing that we're trying to get.
Right.
It's like a pathway to becoming a god, and Clara wants to become a god and then kill Vecna. Is Vecna like an enemy of your gods?
No. Do I know? I know of Vector.
Well, Vecna's usually considered an enemy of everyone because it's the hard necromantic
Yeah.
undead creature leech lord that made himself a god, pretty much.
Well, I guess Vecna could be considered an enemy. It's certainly not a god that my religion praises, that's for sure.
Well, he's not a god. Well, Vecna's a god, but Claro wants to be the god that Vecna is.
Why would you become a god? You worship gods, you don't become gods.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, you can. So
How?
that's what we're trying to find out.
That's exactly the question, Trekkie.
Great. We are now on the same page.
So
good.
But we're trying to find out how to become a god so that we can stop bad guys from becoming gods.
Right. So we figure out how to become gods, then backtrack the process and stop people becoming gods.
Exactly.
Like bouncers.
Yeah. We stand at the gate to the godhood and we say, nay, don't do that.
Which,
yeah,
I imagine if you were gods, like your gods, you'd be pretty pro that. You'd be like, no more gods.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure my gods wouldn't like having another god show up.
Yeah.
That's never happened before.
So the elders, I mean, part of the reason why our communities, where I'm from is kind of not in the world is because some of the elders are really, really powerful, and so it's really important that they don't challenge the gods, because I think there was a thing where the gods were like, you're gonna challenge us, and then like remade the world and like broke everything up, and then it came back together or something. I'm not sure. It was something like that. But the elders are pretty keen to not be seen as powerful, because otherwise people like John, who didn't know the difference, he might worship the elders like they were gods, and then the gods would get upset. I reckon we could like go into a village and be like, look, I'm a god, and like let fire off and like do and the villagers would probably be gods. Don't you think, John?
If you did that, I might have to stop you.
Yeah.
Depends on the people, I guess. But I could see it.
Yeah, so it's really important in my tribe that because we could do that we don't do that.
Oh, I can tell you now, you came over to where I lived and turned into an animal before my eyes, I would have suspected something along those lines. It would have changed my directory in life.
And what a fine directory you have. Slaps him on the back.
The directions, sir. Sorry, I'm a little quiet. I'm just taking all this in. I'm trying to actually learn a bit more about all this now.
You know what? That's fine. You do that. I'm gonna lie down for a second.
May not be the worst idea. Get a bit of rest in.
So there's nothing else for us to do here in Ogolan, correct? I mean, as far as objectives go.
Not comes to mind.
Pick up mana and be on our way.
Stop by the elders and flaunt your new status. Then head up
Woohoo,
to the
second tried to banish this bitch.
I dare you to say that, Trekkie.
I will not say that.
I'll give you 5 gold if you do.
Offer
my
him.
gold again.
Offer him an ale instead or something.
I'll buy your drinks for the next week.
I'm okay. You almost got me, but we've already got Vartex buying our drinks.
That's true.
Shit.
I won't kill you in your sleep if you do it.
I don't think you're going to do that anyway.
Oh, she'd
I
do
mean,
it.
if you wanted me
Yep,
dead,
she
you just
wouldn't.
would stop healing me in that fight back there.
No, I needed you so that you could help me heal these two. I couldn't do them both at the same time.
Used for my healing. That's how I got back.
We're all used for our bodies and abilities from time to time.
Right, well, if you want to go and rest, I can take,
I'm saying all this while lying on the ground looking up.
the first couple of watches tonight. I'm more than happy to stay up. We'll also, if you want to leave your weapons with me. Oh, Trekkie, I'll tell you what this sword does if you say that to the elders.
And the 5 gold.
3.
Done.
Going to hold out her hand to him on the ground.
Shakes the hand.
I'm not giving you the gold until after it's done.
Fair enough.
Right. So, if you all want to go and take your rest, we don't need to be leaving for several hours.
Yeah.
So we can take an easy night. Make sure the horses are fed and watered and rested. Should we get food for the horses? I don't know what they eat. Grass?
Yeah, there's grass as well. Like, you're not... Like, there's only where the white stuff was that was bones. That was grass.
Yeah, it's alright, Miss Celeste. They look after themselves, and then every so often I'll give them some food that's like high energy, so that's how it works.
Right.
If you give them too much of this stuff, they can't live on it. But they and the bark even and the leaves.
Yeah. All right. So just to clarify, the plan right now is tonight we're gonna rest. You're gonna check up a few things, Celeste. And in the morning we're gonna head over to grab mana, and we're gonna head to the Ivory Class, grab ourselves a ride on one of their fancy sky ships. Try to get back to Kronos or close to, so we can head to the gate. Now that we got 4 of us, and try to pop that thing open using these tattoos, and then take life as it comes.
Or death, depending on what happens.
Sounds about
Sure.
right. And in the midst of all this, I'll try and reach out to my contact and see if they have any news. Although I don't know if they'll be willing to part with it yet. But we'll see.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have a lazy afternoon then, because we still got a couple hours before nightfall.
Miss Celeste, I noticed when you find books and stuff that you pop them in that satchel. Can I borrow your books and your maps and that letter. I just want to try and piece it all together.
What letter?
The one that we found with the with the orb thing.
She'll hold it out towards you, but kind of like, if I see so much as one torn page, and if these do not come back to me in the exact same condition that I'm lending them, you will be in trouble.
Okay.
I want them back. Celeste will sit down and take out that flyer and read it.
Right. There's a few things.
This may change all of our directions entirely.
Another coastal attack in the kingdom on the city of La Guera in Esperanza, as a giant shark swallows ship whole. Kingsguard badly injured and several region officials assassinated during the attack.
Jesus.
North Wardens clears passage through collapsed tower. Several suspected dead found alive. That was in the city that you just came from. The Earl Jatviksen asks for aid in mysterious illness plaguing his land. Medical professionals and clerics requested in the village of Brett in the Burning Hills, which is in this region. Eisenfall falls to the raiders of King Uga Sarun. All inhabitants executed, no survivors. The green threat rises and keeps pushing borders. Survivors escape from captivity, stating Gratvort is no longer just a city. Mentions countless abominations and the rise of undead is gravely underestimated. Count Petro von Bergenstein assassinated in the kingdom. No clues as to who did it. Another chosen found. Drekik the not banished, chosen of Ran, has a friend, chosen by the Stormlord.
Friend, you're here.
I made the news. I made the news, and this time not for bad things.
Inhabitants
Your name, though.
Inhabitants near the Glass River sees rare purple fish in the lake. Astrologers blame the eye in the sky for interfering with the animal's migration habits. Since the eye is now gone, maybe it has resolved. The alleyman slasher strikes again, as Ashton Street is found dead. Prominent merchant gravely injured as Midos Liongate might be only surviving witness of the killer, in stable condition, but suffered great injuries. That's it.
Anyone who's suffering grave injuries should just lay down for 8 hours. You'll be fine.
Works for me.
Just have a sleep. You'll be fine.
Did you pick up on the name?
I missed the name.
Yeah, me too. I didn't get any names. I just write like.
Midos Liongate.
Oh.
Midos. Who is? I know that name. Who is that?
That's my brother-in-law.
Ah.
Wait, did he get assassinated?
The one that we stayed at their house, and I stole all their stuff and then gave it back.
Yep. So just to clarify, was he the survived witness, or was he the one killed?
Alleyman slash.
Only surviving witness so far.
Oh boy.
Well, we've gone from not knowing what to do to now having too many directions to go in.
I assume you were reading all this out loud,
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Two more details I just want to clarify, if I may. There was the rare purple fish in the river. What was the river that was happening?
The Glass River.
Glass River, and the mysterious assassination of who was it? Sorry.
Count Bergenstein.
Petrol von Bergenstein assassinated in the kingdom. No clues as to who did it.
Another point of interest. Do I know anything about great big giant sharks swallowing ships whole? Is
You
that
can
thing
make
I've
a
heard of
history
before?
check.
History. Oh god, I'm good at history, y'all.
Bar.
Didn't roll great. Roll a 10. That's an 18.
You have heard of like some inhabitants of the below water dwellers that sometimes use larger creatures as the bulk in attacking. Sometimes ships are attacked by large squids and stuff like that, or large sharks. You've heard of people doing that, and usually it's the Triton.
I'm sorry, Celeste. Would you mind clarifying that last one again?
Yes, Animal Slasher, killer someone, strikes again, Midos Lionsgate survives, last known survivor.
Yeah, yep. How many of those long distance message spells can you do a day? How many?
Why do you want to talk to this person?
That's Midos.
Oh, that's your brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I want to make sure my sister's all right, and I want to make sure he's all right too.
Well, it says he's in stable condition, so that should be and this is as recent as this morning, so
I think it's a couple days old.
No, I grabbed it this morning, didn't I?
But it doesn't necessarily mean that it was written today.
No, but I mean the news is.
It was handed out this morning, at least.
Yeah.
I thought it took us a couple days to get to the hill from the.
Yeah, so technically it took a bit of travel time. So you probably spent 2 days, 3 days getting to where you are now.
Okay.
And even then, the news might not be new when you picked it up.
But I can't do any more today. I'm afraid I'm pretty exhausted from that whole situation. But tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm more than happy to reach out.
Thank you. Yeah. Not to change things last minute, but I would really appreciate it if we could check on my sister. If things seem awry or any concern, I'd like to get there as soon as I can.
That's on the way, isn't it? Aren't we going? Wasn't the plan before we read that note to go pick up Vana and go and get the airship?
Yep, but that would have been taking us to Kronos, I believe, and that's further north.
But that's close. That's in the kingdom. That's closer to.
Yep.
And then if we go from Kronos towards where's Kingshelm? Your sister's at.
Yep, correct.
And then it was near Kingshelm that the cave was, wasn't it?
It was a bit south of Kronos from memory.
Ah, the cave was south of Kronos.
Yeah, Kingshelm was further southeast from memory.
So what about if we put Vana on an airship that's going to Kronos and we catch an airship? Did airships go to Kingshelm?
I don't know.
Nope, only Kronos. They're pretty rare.
But potentially we could find someone in Kronos with the ability to transport us over great distances.
Yep. Yep. And then if my sister's all right and everything's okay there, then she could always transport us back to the mountain if needed. I'm sorry, I just a little concerned now.
Yeah.
No.
Because she took us there in the first place, didn't she?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew we needed to go and see them. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit down for a bit. Actually, I need to distract myself. I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go march off looking for firewood. Just any old trees, anything around. I'm gonna try hack and slash, break down, bring back wood, drop it off, go back, and probably get like 4 times the amount of wood that we actually need for the night. But just keeping my mind as occupied as I can.
Sure.
While that's happening, Celeste will take the Soul Reaver and also take Drekkick's sword and ritual cast Identify on both of them. Now she's already done Identify on the Soul Reaver before.
Yes.
But it's more in the sense of what we were talking about earlier with being able to kind of do, is there a soul in here? Do I recognize the presence of it? Is it like a thing? I guess trying to ascertain more than just like, this is what it is. Trying to ascertain
So, cast Identify, but just use 1 spell slot or whatever. Because you don't really need... You don't... Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. Make an Arcana check for each of them and just let me know which one is what.
Oh, hell yeah. So it's a 17 for the first one, which is a 25.
And which is that?
That'll be for the Soul Reaver.
Right.
And then Arcana for that one. Wait, 17 plus... No, it's a 22. I don't know where I got 20, whatever it was from 25. I'm just adding numbers on. I'm just going crazy.
Math.
That's a 35. And then it's a dirty 20 for the sword. That's a 15 plus 5.
Right. So with the Soul Reaver, it is a device used to capture souls. It currently has 2 souls in it. It also has a lever that you're not quite sure what does. And it looks a little odd for a dagger itself because it does have this weird mechanism that doesn't really make any sense. But from looking at it and looking at the grooves on the side of this thing, it could be that this thing goes into something else. The 2 spirits in there are still attached to this thing, and you gather that maybe if you used to speak with dead, you would be able to maybe talk to them. Because technically they're still caught in this thing, even though their body is long gone.
Interesting.
With the other sword, it is called the Sky King's Cleaver.
Cool name.
You rolled how much total? Dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
Yeah, okay. The sword can cast the spell Light once a day. It can store 1 spell up to level 3, in which it can cast with no component cost. You just have to store the spell in the sword when you do your long rest. It's 1d10 damage plus 1d6 thunder damage. And you get a feeling there's more to it, but you can't decipher it. Not at the moment.
Right. So that probably takes 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Maybe less, because you already kind of identified the Soul Reaver.
How long does it actually take?
10 minutes. It's a ritual, I think.
By ritual cast, it's 10 times the amount of time it would take to cast a spell like normally. And yeah, so it takes a minute to cast it normally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's 10 plus the time it takes from ritual cast.
I thought it was just.
Because if
I
it's
thought it was
an
10
hour to cast, then it's like 10 hours to cast a ritual spell. Whereas if it's an hour to cast, it's an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, I always thought a ritual was 10 times.
I think that depends on how you do it, I guess.
10. Oh yeah, I suppose it works out both ways actually. If you've got a one action spell, 10 times 6 is 6 minutes, not 10 minutes. Anyway.
Ooh, rules. Who is she?
10 times 6 is 60.
Oh yeah, 1 minute. Ritual cast an action spell is 1 minute. That's way fast.
Yeah, I think it is 10 minutes plus the spell's casting time, from memory.
So 22 minutes total.
That's not good.
Yes, and she will leave the Soul Reaver kind of like wrapped up and put it on Jean's like sleeping area because he's off puffing and blowing houses down. And she will take the sword over to Drekik and kind of relay the information, what she ascertained from it.
Powerful sword.
Yes, well, we want to hope so after all that.
But you weren't able to gather everything.
I sense there may be more, but it must be rather powerful. But I mean, I suppose just swing it a few times and see what happens. I don't think it'd be anything bad, surely.
Surely.
I mean, after all that, the gods were like, here, all of our symbols on you, because you managed to get the sword, so maybe it's, I don't know.
Well, at the end of the day, you managed to get the sword. You defeated the beast. I just grabbed it.
Well, yes, I suppose so. You are right. So maybe I should keep the sword, is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you wanted to, a tear starts forming in his eye. I guess.
Potentially. I'll think about it. If I have need for something like that, then I'll come collect it, but you hang on to it for now.
Okay. Just the realization that he doesn't deserve this sword sort of comes across him.
And Celeste will go and sit down and haphazardly put together a fire, I suppose. She'll get rocks and dirt and twigs and kind of like mage handing things around.
John throws another clump of like wood down near you as you're doing that, just back off into the thing.
So Ingwe's like getting all the paper out and like getting the books out and reading it. And spend till the night time just trying to reread stuff. Celeste, I think Celeste told me all the stuff that's in the book.
I think everything that's in there has been pretty much outlaid to everyone, I think.
That's what Ingwe's going to do, trying to like get all the stories you're good at reading.
Jeffrey's just going to stand behind Ingwe for a bit.
So adding also like my mother's books as well to the like.
Right. Make an investigation check for one of your mother's books. I just need to know which one of them.
4.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
Just pop it next to the symbol of Vecna.
Yeah, she wrote that one too.
It's all coming together.
Got it. You do notice, Trekkie, that Ingwe seems to be very good at reading.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I'm just like, how can you read the black light?
Well, I couldn't a couple of weeks ago, but now I can.
I figured being blessed by all the gods, I could start reading, get rid of this curse, but I guess
You've got a curse?
well, I can't read. It's all black fuzz.
Yeah, well, this letter, see, it means, well, they go together, like, that makes a sound. And,
Yeah, but that's a fuzzy black dot.
oh, you can't even
Next
see
to another fuzzy black dot.
Oh, you can't even see the letters. Weird.
So you have trouble seeing things, Trekkie?
I don't think so. It's just tiny things on paper. It's hard to pick. Like, it's not like I can't read. If there was a big massive sign on a shop window, I can read that. Just books. Too big. Something about the size of the letters makes it hard to see.
I wonder. Come with me. I'm just going to grab your hand and pull you back, like 100 feet.
Okay.
And then turn and kind of like face you towards Ingwe. Go, Ingwe, could you hold up one of the books? One of the ones with the larger writing, not one of the small ones.
Oh yeah, like this one.
And then she's going to put open her satchel and dig through it and pull out her spyglass. And she's going to hand it to him. And kind of, if you look through this helps you see things that are quite far away, you know. And she'll hand it out towards him after like doing the voot thing.
Ooh. Like this? He puts it on the wrong way.
No, smaller piece up to your eye.
Oh, right.
No, look to where I point, where Ingwe is.
Yeah. Oh. Hey. This fuzziness is. That's a letter. Hello. How does it make it so close?
It's good for seeing small things at a great distance.
Can you open the book, Ingwe? I want to see if I can read it. It's hard to make out, but they're not as fuzzy. He takes a couple steps closer. Yeah. I can read the words. This removes the curse.
It's not magical.
I can read the books. I just have to be 100 feet away and read them with this.
I'm just picturing like you on watch, just someone wakes up, looks over.
We need someone to draw this.
He's reading a book.
Pressed up against like a tree in his like.
Just walks 100 feet over to it, turns the page.
I'm gonna do some light reading before I go to bed. Like lays down in bed, like looks at the book.
We need someone to draw this.
Some light reading by the campfire. Oh, that's funny.
It's magnificent.
Yes, well, I want it back.
Yes, of course, it's yours. Now I need to get one of my own. I'm very excited. I haven't read a book.
I've never read a book.
Well, no, they're too hard. They're too hard to read.
That's true. You'd need it like a very, either a very short book or a very, very long book. It had to be like one letter per page.
Like a scroll.
Yes, like a scroll.
I mean,
Perhaps
all the...
Oh, sorry.
No, all the monks in the monastery, they all learned their prayers through reading the book. I just pretended to read and listen to learn prayers.
Perhaps somewhere in Kronos we can find you one of these. I'm sure they make them. Or any port town probably has them as well.
Probably. I'm sure we'll be able to find them. You say they're not magical, so they mustn't be that uncommon, sure.
No,
Maybe I can get one for each eye.
Oh, that would be good. He just walks around with like a foot-long like spyglass. And then maybe you can strap them together and then tie them to your head. That way you don't have to hold them.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Right, well... Oh, Trekkie, if you could, I've got the fire started over there. If you want to finish it up, I did most of the work already.
That's fair. I'll take it from here. Just grab some of the.
It's like a pile of like damp leaves, like dirt piled together. Like
I'm just yes, I'll take care of this. He sort of stacks up the fire better and lights it by rubbing the wood together and making it work.
Fair. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do before going to bed?
Oh, can I look at my thing as part of my studies?
Which thing?
My rubby thing that I got from my mum with the X and...
Yep. You certainly can. Let me just find it here on my page. Let's load. Can you roll a d20 for me?
15.
You get a word marks. And it's right after the sun. So sun marks. So far this is what you have. You can't really see much. 23x. Sun marks. Pawn. Follow. Bullet. That is what you get so far. Gotcha. I think that's where we'll leave it tonight's episode, even though it's a little bit early. I think it was a good episode so far.
I'm still emotionally traumatized.
I can feel everyone's a little bit. Ah!
We invented glasses.
Do we level up?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, no.
I have a different system I'm working on, and I'm just gonna want to see if it works. So
Can I take a long rest yet? Or not?
you can take a long rest now. All of you.
Yes. I always forget that I think I get inspiration back on my short rest, don't I? Yeah, I always forget that.
I think bots get most
I've got
back
no
on sure.
inspiration
That's fair.
back, and then never actually take a short rest.
8 hours and we're all healthy.
Well, you should already be healthy though.
Yeah.
That
What?
gash in your stomach, don't worry about it. Have a nap, man. Trust me. Just go to sleep. You'll be fine.
Let's find
It'll be okay.
let's find someone to raid. Everyone roll from d20s.
I got a 2.
And another 2 for
Roll
me.
my Christmas dice. Ones you guys got me for Christmas, like forever ago. Gonna roll this one.
Christmas dice.
That it's cocked. Rolled onto my keyboard.
And Sean?
Oh, 7.
Well, I got 13 for once.
Hey,
A 1 with a 13.
Welcome to initiative.
Well, I rolled a 5 on initiative, so.
So funny.
Can't believe you were the highest initiative with an 11.
I know.
I always do this as well. It's always like, oh, everyone rolled so low. And then it's like, oh, yeah, who's the highest? 9, 11, 12.
It's okay. You'll be able to take this on. It's fine. Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Sorry.
It's even worse, like when
Luck
you
of the
roll
draw.
really high, like you
Yeah.
roll like a 19 or whatever, but you're facing like mobs, and then there are like 7 of them, but everyone else rolls really low, so you're like at the top, and then enemy, and then everyone else at the end, and you're just like, guys, you guys gonna do something? What do you guys do?
I just hated how I got after the beast because it was like, you're revived. Oh, great. I'm going to be... Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a funny game.
not just
Right.
a game, Tom. It's a lifestyle.
Getting beat up by a 1,000-year-old ship? Okay.
Yeah.
How rotten was that wood? Yeah.
Pretty rotten afterwards, at least.
Did we get tetanus?
I thought about putting nails on it and swords and stuff, but I feel like this was more accurate.
Oh, that's like its breath weapon. It like breathes out nails, like rusty nails.
Take disease saving throws.
Yeah, it's like poison. You need to be like poison resistant.
Yeah, I was battling with an interesting breath weapon for this one, but that's fine.
I like the wood idea. That's a cool one.
Right.
We've got 3, it looks like, to choose from.
Mhm.
All previously rated by us. We have Sparhawk Games, who are doing a charity stream of sorts. There's Way to the Fae, which is the latest from Einstein's Barber. And the Eldritch Scribe are doing the Quenthian one-shot Burning Hollow Man, The Next Generation Part 2.
Okay, I feel like that sounds like some kind of weird crossover between random movies. I think we should probably go for the first one because they're doing a giveaway. Or a donation or whatever. Charity, yeah. Yep.
Sweet. Alright, setting that up.
Charity.
If you are subbed, get the emotes and
Yes.
monsters in Raidham. God, I'm
Yeah.
like, what a word. Monsters in Raidham in the chat. Going in, coming with the emotes, spread the love, say hi, give them a follow, and just say, hey, we love you. We're from Monsters and Mayhem, and we think you're awesome.
Yeah.
I really did beat the shit out of you, huh?
It's been a day today. Like, I'm a wreck.
Yeah.
If someone can meme me doing Captain America to Celeste, that would be great. Like,
shields go flying. Like, so you just Captain Americaning us?
Like, that one was like half her health. Like, that,
well, it's
like,
2d12.
to her forward. It's like, what?
2d12 points of damage.
It's hard.
We're so squishy.
Sweet, we are good to go.
My bard,
yeah.
it's broken.
Monsters in Raidham in the chat.
Monsters Raidham, thank you so much, everyone. Ciao.
See you next time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye.
And we're through.